It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandell.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent located downtown Midland. Look, I just want to take this time to appreciate Will Vest. Will Vest has been such a rock this season for the Tigers out of the bullpen. When you talk about some of the big issues with this Tigers team, well, one, there's not a lot of big issues. There's not a lot of issues in general. But the bullpen comes up as a sign of concern. Look, as long as Will Vest is pitching in a playoff series, in any series, you're fine. The combination of Canely and him have been lights out this season, but man, Will Vest comes in last night, K's 3, shows that emotion after getting that third and final strikeout to win the game. And it takes me back to that June 15th game against the Reds where Will Vest gave up a few runs and then looked like he potentially got hurt on a wild pitch. Remember how screwed we thought the Tigers bullpen was when that happened? How terrified we all were? I know I was. Because without Will Vest, this is a way different team. Since that game, by the way, since returning, 7 innings pitched, 0 runs given up, 11 Ks. I know we talk about Zach McKinstry as the big all-star snub of the Tigers. I'd say it's Will Vest, one of the best closers in all the American League. And that's what separates this 2025 Tigers team from that 2012 Tigers team. An elite high-leverage closer to come in and win you games. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Looms. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt. Mid-Michigan sports leader.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation, that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit. Because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. Appointment radio across the state.
Remember that. Hello, and welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show. It is Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's Big Win Wednesday, which means we're giving away Detroit Tigers tickets as we are doing every Wednesday for the rest of the summer. Hey, when you got the best team in Major League Baseball in your own state, you got to give some tickets away if you're a radio station, especially if you're a sports station. That's just part of the bit, you know? So at 10:15 a.m., we're going to be giving away Detroit Tigers tickets for their weekend series against the Mariners. That's coming up in the 10 o'clock hour. We've got a lot to get to before then. Look, I don't really want to waste any time today because we've got a really interesting question for the people to lead off the show. I've seen this topic floated around a few times. I've seen some other people dig into it, and I've always pushed back and avoided it because I didn't believe it. And last night was the first time I was open to this idea. Here's my question to everyone. Who's the best team in Detroit? Because for the last 3 years, I don't think this has been debatable. It's been your Detroit Lions. But last night, I'm watching this Tigers team. I'm watching this Tigers game. And since this show launched on June 2nd, our main takeaways for how this team can improve were Jack Flaherty, because he had some blow-up starts at the beginning of June, and the bullpen. Yesterday, Jack Flaherty goes 6 1/3, 8 Ks, 1 walk. The knuckle curve was forcing a lot of swing and miss. Looked back to form. Holton has now had 7 straight outings in which he has not allowed a single run. As for Hannafy, he's allowed 1 run in his past 5 appearances on the mound for the Detroit Tigers. This Tigers team can't stop winning. Even when the likes of Riley Green go 0 for 4, Colt Keith suddenly one of the hottest bats not only on the team, but across Major League Baseball right now. Zach McKinstry stepping up. The team has 4 All-Stars. You already know that. They're 59 and 34. And for the first time, I'm looking at them, and I'm looking at this Detroit Lions team and thinking, I think the Tigers may have a legitimate argument for being Detroit's best team. Right now, the Tigers are plus 700 to win the World Series. That is second to only the Dodgers. First in the American League. Pull up the sports book for the Lions. They're plus 1,000. Fifth in the NFL. Second in the conference behind the Eagles. The Ravens, Bills, and Chiefs all listed ahead of them. I think I'm more confident right now today that the Tigers can win a World Series than I am the Lions can win a Super Bowl this season. And part of that's you look around the American League and there's not really a juggernaut. The Yankees got worse. Texas isn't the same team that they used to be. Houston, they've got the bullpen, but we'll see what happens here with their bats. You look at this Tigers team, and suddenly I'm looking at this team with no weaknesses, which is crazy to sound. Like, I'm not sitting here telling you that they don't need to make a move at the deadline and try to get better. I will always be a proponent of trying to improve your team at the deadline and being the team that everyone is chasing. Don't let the Yankees, don't let the Astros, don't let the Mariners, don't let the Rays go get the top guy that gets moved at the deadline an inch closer to you when you could go get the top guy at the deadline and move yourself even further in front of them. I'm always going to be a proponent of improving your team. But again, the 2 biggest things that I thought the Tigers need improvement more on were Jack Flaherty and the bullpen, both of which have been shoving as of late. This team, it truly feels like, has no weakness at this moment in time. Not to say that the Lions have all these holes on their team, but let's just be real with ourselves. The Lions' biggest strength of the past 3 years, the biggest reason they've had the success that they've had, has been the offensive line. That's what this team has been built on. They lost 2 guys this offseason that have been named to a Pro Bowl in the past 2 seasons, one of which you could argue is a future Hall of Famer in Frank Ragnow. The other which, Kevin Zeitler. Either way, you're replacing these guys with rookies or second-year players who were 6th-round picks. That is cause for concern. And whether you like it or not, however much you believe in Tate Ratledge and Christian Mahogany and Graham Glasgow and Miles Frazier and Brad Holmes for drafting and signing all these guys, however much you believe in them, what is very apparent is they're not going to be as good. That unit has taken a step back. It's undebatable. How much of a step back is in question. But what we do know is they've lost some really talented players in the interior of their offensive line, so much so that yesterday when PFF came out with a top 32 offensive lines page, or offensive line article, the Lions were ranked, ready? 13th, which was 3rd amongst teams in the NFC North. Bears, Vikings, both listed ahead of them. Now, I'm not saying believe everything that this, you can't just believe everything you read. I think there's a chance that the Lions still have a very good offensive line, but it's not the best in the league, and it's not a dominant unit anymore, even though Penei Sewell is on it, who's arguably one of the scariest players in all of football, and by far the best offensive lineman in all of football. But that's just one of your 5 guys up front. The Lions have an uphill battle ahead with how much talent there is across the league, even in the NFC. That Eagles team didn't fall off a cliff. I'd argue the Lions got worse this offseason compared to the Eagles. And then I look at this Tigers team. Last night, they win again, and for the first time, I really feel like this is Detroit's best team. Again, I've been hesitant to say it because what I kept telling myself time and time again was, hey, this Tigers team still needs to improve in some ways. This Lions team, now that they're healthy, is back to the top as they were for the first 5 weeks of 2024. I don't think I can say that anymore, Kyle. This Tigers team has done enough here in the month of July. 89, almost 100 games into the season, 59-34, 25 games over 500. I think this might just be the best team in Detroit, and I'm finally open to that idea.
I just don't know if I can get behind this yet. I mean, you think about where the Lions were last season at this point, right? Halfway through the season-ish, 8-1. They were Super Bowl favorites.
Mm-hmm.
The Tigers have yet to be World Series favorites. Now they're the American League favorites, as the Lions were NFC favorites nearly the entire year. But obviously, there was a little bit of a different vibe with that Lions team at this point, especially going into the playoffs, because you kind of knew something was going to come with the amount of injuries on that defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with this Tigers team, like to your point, you try to point out something that's going to be a reason that things are going to end early. It's hard to find one, man. Like, as much as we want to sit here and complain about the bullpen, they have one of the most consistent high leverage guys in the league. And they have an elite setup man next to him. And then with that starting rotation, like, you talk about, oh, maybe they need to add another guy. If Flaherty's your 4th guy, like, how big of a deal is that? So I think from a gambling perspective, and as far as what the odds were, the Lions are the best team. Just from that perspective of they were Super Bowl favorites at one point. They had the best chance to win, according to Vegas.
But Kyle, are we talking about last year's Lions team, or are we talking about this year's Lions team? I'm done comparing the 2024 Lions to the 2025 Tigers.
Well, I'm just saying at this point last year, like, I think it's tough to compare teams that are in the middle of their season versus off season. Right?
Well, let's just put it this way then. If I told you one of these teams was going to win it all, a World Series or a Super Bowl, and you had to predict correctly to save your own life, which team would you think got it done, looking to the future?
It's hard not to say the Tigers. I mean, you laid it out. The points are there. They just are strong in every category. And you'd be lying if you said you weren't a little bit concerned about the Lions' offensive line.
Bingo. 989-837-6125. I want to hear from the people. Have the Tigers surpassed the Lions in your eyes as this city's and this state's best team? I'm not bringing Michigan and Michigan State into this. That's completely separate. But I'm talking about the pro teams down in Detroit. Because for 3 years, I don't think it's been debatable. It's been the Detroit Lions. It's been Dan Campbell. It's been Jared Goff. That's been the standard. And suddenly, this Tigers team, with all the magic that they've had over the past calendar year, is knocking on the door. If not, we miss them knocking on the door, and they kicked down the door and walked right in and sat on the throne as the top team down in Detroit. Agree or disagree? 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. We've got a lot of good stuff coming up, including some home run derby stuff. Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, kind of waiting for those names to potentially be thrown into it. How big of a step back did this Lions offensive line take? And, of course, we're giving away Detroit Tigers tickets for this weekend series against the Seattle Mariners. Because it's Big Win Wednesday, and that's what we do here on Wednesdays on the Ben Bosscher Show. Hey, Aird Insurance. They understand not everyone's insurance needs are the exact same. They want to work personally with you to create something best suited for your needs. Life, home, auto, fiscal, it's all available with Aird Insurance. The team's got over 1,000, well, that would be a lot, 100 years of combined experience. They know exactly how to put you in the best position possible. The experience matters. That's why Aird Farm Bureau Insurance is the way to go. Stay tuned. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Hey parents, got a young athlete at home? Sign them up for the Greater Midland Try Kids Try Youth Triathlon, Saturday, July 19th at Plymouth Park in Midland. Kids ages 6 to 15 will swim, bike, and run their way through the finish line in a fun, supportive environment. And don't miss the mini TKT for ages 3 to 5 happening Friday, July 18th. Register now at greatermidland.org/races. That's greatermidland.org/races.
When the summer heat is on, keep your cool with Answer Heating and Cooling. Our expert team specializes in fast, reliable air conditioning repairs, installations, and maintenance. Stay comfortable all season long with top-notch cooling solutions and simply outstanding service. Plus, with financing options and special rebates, cooling your home has never been more affordable. Answer Heating and Cooling, where comfort is our priority. Try our new schedule online option or call us today.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the local job market. We're here in person. And we're locally owned, so you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at Spherion.com to find your local Spherion office. Let's get to work.
Something is amiss at Dow Diamond. The award-winning True Crime Night returns for the Great Lakes Loons on Thursday, July 10th. And this time, our beloved golden bobblehead is missing. It's an evening filled with suspense and intrigue. Join the investigation to uncover the mystery and help solve the case of who framed Lou E. Loon. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Michigan.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
989-837-6125. Here's what we're debating right now. I guess we're not really debating. We're discussing who we think is the best team down in Detroit. Have the Tigers surpassed the Lions as the top team down in the city? We've got a text coming in that says the Lions are still Detroit's top team because they're winning consistently and they've been doing it for much longer. The Tigers will win. I do believe the Tigers will win the World Series and the Lions will win the Super Bowl, and it'll be a big parade in Detroit. Yeah, I mean, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it sounds like the best year of our lives.
I don't know if it'd get better than that. Like
Yeah,
that
that'd be
kind of just
officially
seems like the
peak.
peak of
That's peak of
my
life.
existence for
Yeah.
sure. I don't think I'd know how to behave the rest of my. I think I'd be just content. Like, yeah, I'm
Content
good.
with life.
Content with life. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just cool with everything after that. Yeah.
We've got Michael in the chat saying, thing with baseball is the best team usually doesn't win the World Series. It is the hottest team at the end of the season. The Lions still have MCDC and some of the best weapons in the NFL. That is, but didn't the Tigers walk into the postseason last year as the hottest team in baseball? And
True.
at the end of the day, the best team in baseball still won the World Series in the Dodgers.
Yeah, but to Michael's point, like, it doesn't happen every year. Whereas in the NFL, most of the time, the team that wins a Super Bowl is the best team, right? One
Or
of the
the
best
healthiest.
2 teams, at least.
Or the healthiest, yeah.
Sure.
Would you say baseball is the sport where it's the most random in terms
Yes.
of what happens
Baseball's
in the postseason?
absolutely the most random.
I agree for the most part. But I
Football
also feel like
kind of is.
I also feel like we're in a weird era, or maybe entering a weird era of Major League Baseball, to where there is such a discrepancy between the top teams and everybody else. And what I mean by that is the Dodgers and everybody else, even though I know they've lost 5 in a row here. But
Yeah, but it's just like,
I don't know, man. It's
would it
it's just
shock
tough to
anyone
pick
if the
them.
Dodgers lost to the Brewers in the divisional series?
It would shock me.
Like, they
it
lose
would.
to the Padres every other year in the playoffs. I get that, like, this is the best version of the Dodgers.
Yeah, man.
But they've
I
been
don't- this is
spending for a
different.
while.
But what they've put together in the last 2 years,
Right. If they
just
win it again
different.
this year, we might be entering something different. Yes.
Which is why I'm always going to be an advocate of not just a salary cap. That's not the important part, but a salary floor. Force the teams to spend,
Right.
and then the Dodgers won't be able to retain everybody. But this is a Tigers conversation. This is a Lions conversation, because my biggest takeaway last night was, like, I'm watching this Tigers team. I'm watching Flaherty just shove. Again, 8 Ks, 1 walk, because that had been the problem, his command. And that had been the Tigers' biggest problem, was Flaherty. It's like, I don't know if they can trust this guy when he's out in the mountain. He has these blow-up starts, gives up a boatload of home runs, and he gave up another one yesterday. But for someone who, for the most part in his career, has commanded the zone as well as he has, you're just bound to do that once in a while. Well, he had been losing command of the zone and still giving up home runs, which was problematic in the month of June and May. But his last couple outings, he's stacked some quality starts on top of each other, and yesterday was the best one he's had in a couple of months. So it's like, all right, I can't really sit here and tell you that that's a big red flag anymore. He's probably the 4th best pitcher on this team. And is that an upgradable position? Yeah, I think it is, but it's not a reason.
And they're going to make upgrades somewhere, too. Like,
Right.
They're not going to do nothing.
Is it an upgradable spot? Yes, but it's not something that you're panicking about. The thing that we really were panicking about was the bullpen, because Triple H, Holton, Hannafy, and Herter had been a disaster for 2 months? 2 months there, it felt like they couldn't get anybody out, and you were worried every time they went out there. Well, Holton seems to have figured it out. 7 straight appearances, no earned runs. Hannafy, the last 5 outings he's had, he's only given up 1. Herter's still the one that you don't really trust out there. But I'm not saying like Holton and Hannafy have been fixed, but what I do know is Vest is one of the best closers in baseball right now. Canely is someone that, despite a couple blow-up outings here in the past month, you feel
really
good
trust
about.
him.
You feel
Yeah.
good about. And if Holton can start reverting back to what he looked like at the beginning of the season and last year, and Hannafy's giving you a little bit of something, you're looking at this bullpen like this is a solid group. It's not the best bullpen in baseball, but it's beyond solid. Again, you're going to make upgrades at some point before this trade deadline on July 31st. You're going to get better.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how much you're willing to spend and how much you're willing to put down on the table to create an even bigger gap between you and whoever. I mean, I think most people still consider the Yankees the second best team in the American League, even though they're not even winning their division anymore. So I don't know. But regardless of who you think that second best team is, are the Tigers willing to spend aggressively to widen that gap and secure themselves even shorter odds to go to that World Series? Because the last thing I want is for them to say, we're good. You know, we've got Zach McKinstry. We've got this bullpen that we trust. We might make a marginal upgrade, but we'll let all these other teams inch a little bit closer to us at the deadline. I don't want them to get comfortable with this 13, which is ridiculous, this 13-game lead in the AL Central, right? That's where you start to.
Well, yeah, it's more about the AL Central at this
a little
point.
too much.
Yeah, it's about the American League in general.
I think they passed the Lions, man. I really do.
Going back to that, though, I think it is a good point brought up by one of the texters that the Lions have been doing it for longer. Like, as much as I do think maybe the Tigers are the better overall team right now, just from a depth perspective, and they don't really have a ton of weaknesses, I still, like, it's hard for me to just say I trust them more than the Lions to win the Super Bowl.
Why? Have the Lions had this crazy postseason success?
The Tigers have? Like,
no, that's not what I'm saying either.
I mean, the Lions were a quarter away from going to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. I understand that this is a different team, and I need to stop looking back into the past. But
I to the texter's point, yes, they've been doing it a little bit longer.
They have a little bit more of that experience. This Tigers run feels still a bit euphoric. Like they're still riding the high from last fall. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because it's clearly working for them.
It feels euphoric, but at the same time, is this not one of the healthiest organizations in sports?
You're right.
It's not like that's going to change overnight. And
it's not by chance either.
It's not by chance. You trust the organization. You trust the development all the way down in Lakeland, all the way to Chris Fetter and the guys that first step foot in Comerica Park and what Chris Fetter can turn them into. This is one of the better and well-run organizations right now, which is mind-blowing to say based on the 5 years before this. But that's not changing anytime soon. Similar to the way I view this Lions team, as long as they have Brad Holmes and as long as they have Dan Campbell, it's going to be a healthy organization. Maybe they're never the best offense in the league again, but this is going to be a well-run team, a well-run organization, and a team that puts more wins up than losses as long as those guys are there. That's kind of the way I feel right now with the Tigers, but it just feels like they have less weaknesses right now, or at least less question marks.
They're pretty comparable
than the Lions.
teams.
Yeah.
Honestly. They don't really have like super duper stars as far as like the star quarterback or the star like bat. Star I'm talking.
Yeah, super. Like they don't
led by incredible coaching staffs, the culture. Like they do embody each other.
Well, I think that all started
comparing
with
across
Campbell.
leagues. Yeah. You compare it across leagues, like there's just more competition in the NFL for the Lions right now than in MLB for the Tigers. Right? Wouldn't you feel that way?
Yeah. I think it'd be different if the Tigers were in the NL. Like, you play that Nationals team, and it's like, yeah, this is not a playoff team. This is a team that's going to be a seller at the deadline. They've got an all-star. They've got a couple studs in the lineup. Like, James Woods in the home run derby. They've got that closer who's throwing 100. It's like...
Yeah, they just have the worst pitching staff in MLB. Like,
I'm just making the point. It's tough sledding out in the NL. Like, you got to play some nasty teams on a regular basis out.
Yeah,
in
you can say the same about the NFC and AFC, though, too. I would argue the AFC's better.
But the NFC has the defending Super Bowl champs. That's the difference.
True.
And probably the best roster in football in the Eagles, even though they don't have the best quarterback like those other teams do. 989-837-6125. Drop it in the YouTube chat. Go ahead and text in with the Mitt messages, the number I just threw out. Who do you believe is Detroit's top dog? Who's the top team? Is it the Tigers or is it the Lions? Because yesterday, I'm looking at this Tigers team. I'm looking at them win again. 5th straight win. I'm like, all these weaknesses that I've been telling the audience about for 2 weeks don't really feel like weaknesses at this moment in time. Could they become weaknesses again? Yes. But as of right now, it's like... I don't even know what this team's number one need is at the deadline because all the needs that I had listed have not been problems for the last 2 weeks. That's how bulletproof this team seems right now. I think it's the Tigers. 989-837-6125. Tell me if you agree or disagree. You can do it in the YouTube chat as well. We'll come back, read some more Mitt messages, get some more texts, hit the news. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Loons kicked off a 6-game set with the Lansing Lugnuts last night, right back here at Dow Diamond, picking up a 3-2 victory. It was Lansing who held the lead the entire game, up 2-0 in the 7th inning, but the hero on Sunday picked up right where he left off on Tuesday, Cam Decker, with a 3-run shot in the 7th.
Second baseman Yamauchi shading up the middle, hoping another ball hit his way where he turned 2 in that 5th. Nope, Decker puts it in the air to deep left. Has he done it again in the 7th? You bet! Back-to-back games with a Decker 7th inning smash and a go-ahead home run. 387-104 off the bat. And just like that, the Loons ahead 3-2.
Game 2, Loons Lugnuts tonight. Pre-game coverage starting at 6:50 right here on 100.9 The Mitt.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Logan Snyder from Bullet Creek High School. With a 3.94 GPA, Logan's a member of the varsity golf team, revitalizing a program that was dormant when he was a freshman 4 years ago. Logan great at golf and in the classroom, and also volunteers, including at the Midland Miracle Fields.
I love working with those kids, and it's always so much fun to see them getting to play the game we all get to love to play. Just getting to see them going up to bat, hitting the ball, no matter how far it goes, and they're just super excited. It just warms my heart every time.
Logan will be attending Ferris State in the fall and plans to study in their PGA Golf Management program. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themid.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brandon Scott at Scott Family Dental in Midland. As someone who was born and raised here, I would like to introduce myself by offering my services as your family dental provider. At Scott Family Dental, our mission is to provide excellent and personalized care using the latest technologies and best practices. Our highly trained and personable staff ensure you will feel comfortable along the way.
Dr. Scott is accepting new patients at 2509 West Wackerly Street next to the US 10 on-ramp. Scott Family Dental, let's bring out your best smile together.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
At Sandy Ridge, our completely renovated clubhouse is ready for you. With a brand new full kitchen, a spacious deck, and plenty of room for any event, it's the perfect spot for weddings, parties, or any special gathering. And that's not all. Our whole 16 green has been redesigned and is better than ever. Plus, our greens are the truest around, on par with the top courses, but at a price that fits your budget. Come visit us today at Sandy Ridge and see why we're the perfect choice for your next event.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, one more time. Got to shout out Lil Bro for making the beats for our rejoiners. Just got a few new ones in there, too. All right, without further ado, let's hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, Ben.
All right, Kyle.
We got a jam-packed day of news.
Do we?
So let's hop into it. Tigers Game 3 with the Rays tonight. Originally was supposed to be at 1:10. It's at 5:10 now because there's going to be some rainy weather in Detroit during the afternoon today. But it's Reese Olson versus Zach Little.
They can't escape the rain, can they? This is my biggest takeaway for the Tigers this season. Oh, they've got this Cy Young candidate. Could go back-to-back. They've got Riley Green, budding superstar. No. They did something to make God mad, and the rain follows them no matter where they go. Yeah, that's the number one takeaway of the last month of Detroit Tigers baseball.
Going for a 6th straight win are the Tigers, trying to go back-to-back sweeps as well.
What's their longest win streak of the season? You read the next thing. I'm going to find that out.
Yeah, well, that's kind of where I was going with the next thing. I figured it'd be a good time to do a bit of a standings check in MLB. Talk about some teams that are on some win streaks, losing streaks. The Toronto Blue Jays right now, when we were talking about the Yankees, that's got to be the team that you fear the most in the American League right now. 10-game winning streak for the boys in Canada. 54-38 are the Blue Jays leading the American League East. Houston Astros now hold a nearly 7-game lead in the West. They're 55-37. They're not on a win streak or anything. But the Boston Red Sox, 5-game win streak right now, getting Alex Bregman back soon, likely too, at 48-45.
Which unfortunately means they're probably not going to be sellers here at the deadline, because there's a lot of teams that, when you're the top team like the Tigers are, and there's not even a question of like you're not in a race for anything. You're going to win your division. You hope that it pans out like that elsewhere too, because the more teams that are in the mix for the wild card, the more likely it is that there's less sellers. And right now there's such a cluster for the wild card spots that it feels like there's not going to be a ton of teams that are selling in the American League here at the deadline. We've got all but 4 teams that are within 4 games of the wild card.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I would say it's a 4-team group at the top, but then you obviously have that mix of teams, like all the AL Central teams, plus Texas, plus the Angels that are all involved too. So
Right.
It's going to be pretty interesting. Out in the National League, Ben mentioned this earlier, 5-game losing streak for the Dodgers. They're 56-37, so the Tigers hold a 3-game lead on the best record in all of baseball right now. The Mets, they still lead the National League East. Actually, they're tied with Philly. And then in the Central, it's the Cubs with a 2-game lead over the Brewers.
So I looked, the Tigers have had, this is their 4th 5-game win streak of the season. So
no 6 yet, though.
6 tonight would be the longest win streak of the season.
Hopefully they can get it.
And then...
let's talk some... What do you got?
Well, I was just going to say, isn't Scooble on the mound on Friday?
Saturday.
Oh.
Mize Friday.
Oh, another guy that just you usually win when he's out there.
I mean, man, all these guys,
I'd make the argument,
they win whoever's out there.
I'd make the argument if they can pull it off today, the win streak's going to get to 8. With Mize and Scooble.
That could be the case.
Weekend.
I mean, Seattle's been playing pretty good baseball as well, so...
Oh, I've got a stat on a Seattle player later compared to Riley Green. I can't wait.
I know exactly where you're going. Let's talk about some NBA news. Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets. He is not going to sign his extension this offseason, even though he's eligible to. This isn't really news, though. It's just because he can make an additional $77 million next summer if he waits to do it then. So that would be the reason why.
Still has 3 more years left on this current deal,
which is already one of the highest paid deals in basketball.
There's like NBA breaking news as we speak, by the way. I don't know. You might have not had this written down in the news.
Really?
But yeah, do you want me to do it?
Yeah, go for it, because I don't have Twitter pulled up.
Breaking. This is from Shams Sharania. Breaking. Oklahoma City Thunder star and NBA champion Chet Holmgren has agreed to a fully guaranteed 5-year maximum rookie contract extension that could reach $250 million.
Whew. So we've seen Paolo get his rookie deal. We've seen Chet get his rookie deal. Or after the rookie deal. Still waiting on Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, though.
I'd be real worried about Chet's injury concern.
Chet and Shea just got crazy money. I mean, it was expected.
$535 million combined for the two of them.
Oh, wow.
You can't give Jalen Williams the max, can you?
I mean, they have to. Someone else will.
And he's eligible this offseason too, right? Are they going to get all 3 of these done?
He's same draft, yeah.
Good
well,
God,
technically,
man.
these guys won't kick in until the following season.
Right.
So we'll see if they get smart with the
Get ready to be a second apron team.
I think they're fine with it. They got their ring. Maybe more than one. Let's talk some WNBA news. First good, then bad. Last night, Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier drafted their all-star teams for the all-star game because they still do it in that format. Did you see that they traded coaches during the draft?
No, that's pretty funny, though. I didn't see that.
Because they were talking about making a trade, and they were like, let's just trade coaches. So that's kind of funny. And then the bad news, reigning WNBA MVP Asia Wilson injured her wrist last night in their game versus the Liberty. Tough
she's a
break
stud,
for
man.
the Aces.
The other WNBA news is the return of Caitlin Clark.
Right.
Is in about 2.5 hours. Caitlin Clark playing at noon today.
Noon.
She's missed 5 straight games with a groin injury. She is back. The WNBA is like, thank God.
Yeah,
Yes.
for real.
Yes.
They couldn't get you on TV enough. All right, let's talk some college hoops news. This is kind of interesting. Grand Canyon University is headed to the Mountain West for this year's hoop season. Kind of a quick turnaround. They'll be joining the Mountain West. Now, the Mountain West is getting basically dissembled in a year in 26-27 with a bunch of teams joining the Pac-12. But this season, in the Mountain West, it's going to have Grand Canyon, San Diego State, Boise State, Utah State, Colorado State, New Mexico. All those teams made the tournament last year. And then you still have like the UNLVs. Like, it's going to be a loaded conference for one season.
A little sneaky, like, West version of the Big East.
Yeah, honestly.
A little more spread
Basketball
out.
conference.
Bryce Drew's still the coach over there, right? I wanted him to be the Michigan
At Grand
coach.
Canyon?
Yeah.
I guess I really don't know.
I think he is. I wanted him to be the Michigan coach when they were replacing Jawan. Obviously, I'm glad it worked out the way it did. Dusty's been nothing but incredible. But yeah, they've got a good program over there. The Mountain, I didn't realize how whack the Mountain West was about to be for just one final season.
Yeah, because obviously in 26-27, you got San Diego State, Boise, Colorado State, Utah State leaving for the Pac-12.
Yeah, they got to call this something else. That's not the Pac-12. This is just a completely new conference.
Well, but is it?
It's the Pac 2.0.
Is it going to be included as a power conference? No way, right? We've already been calling it the Power 4.
I don't
like
think
the way
you
they
can.
switch it back. I don't think so either.
It's like the Pac 2.0. That's what they should call it.
I like that. The Pac 24.
Is it really supposed to be? What if they called it the 12 pack?
Thinking of a funny name.
The 12 pack instead of the Pac 12.
Like, yeah, I mean that's
that's pretty good.
That's a funny name. Yeah. Okay,
well,
more
it's
college
a funny
basketball
conference.
news. It is a funny conference. Jackson Richardson, younger brother of Jace Richardson, also son of Jason Richardson. He's a 5-star prospect in the 2026 class, top 10 player in ESPN rankings. He's cut down his list of schools to 10. Michigan State not included, and Michigan is included. Oh, a stab to the heart from Jackson Richardson.
Yeah, but you got to. Are you an only child? You have siblings? I feel like I've never heard you talk about your siblings. I've never once heard you talk about your siblings. That's weird.
I've never been asked.
So I feel like this is a little sibling thing. I'm not a little sibling. I'm an older brother, but it would be like, no, I don't want to do what my dad and my older brother did. I want to do my own thing. It's like I'm not following the legacy. I'm not going to be the third Richardson to go to Michigan State. And I feel like
but if he goes to Michigan, though?
I know. I feel like he threw Michigan in there just for like.
I feel like your pops going to the school though changes the whole. I don't want to do the same thing as my big bro.
Yeah, but when they both have already done it, and you're like the third guy to go through the program, like I don't know. I feel like I
think that's cool, man.
I can understand being like, no, I want to do my own thing.
You're right. I can.
But it's not like Michigan's
Jeremiah
the best
Fears
program
going to do his own thing
on the list. I mean, Bama, USC, Nova, Seton Hall, even like a Creighton.
Like he might not go to Michigan.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
He also might go to Michigan, and that would be terrible. All right, we can save the rest of the news.
Terrible for who? For who, Kyle?
For me. For me.
Okay, good. All right, 989-837-6125. We'll be right back with a conversation about the home run derby. Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson. Do we expect either of them to be participating in the event All-Star Week? First Class Epoxy, now in Midland, turns boring concrete into smooth, shiny, and durable floors. Perfect for garages, workshops, basements, anywhere you want floor that looks great and lasts. Their epoxy is tough enough for heavy traffic and wild dance moves. I know Kyle always trying to bust down a dance move in the garage. Professional prep, flawless finish, done on time, and built to last. Say goodbye to stains, cracks, and dull gray floors, and say hello to slick showroom shine. Call First Class Epoxy now or visit firstclassepoxynow.com. First Class Epoxy Now, where the floors, your floors, get the VIP treatment they didn't even know that they needed.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text Clean Car to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
Hey parents, got a young athlete at home? Sign them up for the Greater Midland Try Kids Try Youth Triathlon, Saturday, July 19th at Plymouth Park in Midland. Kids ages 6 to 15 will swim, bike, and run their way through the finish line in a fun, supportive environment. And don't miss the mini TKT for ages 3 to 5 happening Friday, July 18th. Register now at greatermidland.org/races. That's greatermidland.org/races.
Something happens when we can't be our true selves. You can hear it in our laughs. There's the half-hearted chuckle. The courtesy conference caller.
Yeah, great.
And of course, the I'm only laughing because I'm dating your daughter.
Oh, that's so true.
If you want to laugh for real, try having some Miller Lite with some friends. It works. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin beer.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman Night at Dow Diamond on Saturday, July 12th. The first 1,000 fans through the gates will receive an exclusive Super Lou E bobblehead courtesy of My Michigan Health. Create a lasting memory after the game as you take in Fireworks Loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Don't miss this super night of fun. Get your tickets at loons.com.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. Hey, if you guys want to text in, feel free, 989-837-6125. We've been debating who's the best team in Detroit truly is, because I think after last night, I'm kind of open for the conversation or the argument that it is, in fact, this Detroit Tigers team.
Let's go, Tigers!
Speaking of the Tigers, we've got 4 All-Stars heading to the All-Star game. You could argue it should be 5, whether you want to make the argument for McKinstry or Will Vest being that 5th person. But what we do know is that's at least minimum 4 guys. What we don't know is if a Detroit Tiger will be heading to the home run derby, which I don't know about you, Kyle. I feel like has lost a little bit of prestige here in the past 5, 6, 7 years because they changed the format of it every single season to the point where, like, you could tell me any rules with this is how the home run derby is happening in 2025, and I wouldn't be able to tell you if they've done that before or if it's new.
Yeah.
It just, they change it.
Yeah, they're actually all
every
pitching this year.
The goal's to hit
trying
singles.
Give up the least amount of home runs.
The goal's to hit it to the warning track, but not hit it over the...
Right.
I think it's lost a little bit of prestige
There's a target pool
because
in
of
the
that.
crowd that they have to hit it in, and it gives them extra points.
It wouldn't surprise me if they put something in like that. Like
Right.
they do something different every year to the point where I think it has become a little bit hard to follow and understand what the rules of the
It
derby
has
are.
lost its aura. Like, straight
You
up.
mean, you mean it's gravity? Yeah, thank you.
Right.
I remember watching it. I don't remember if it was last year or a couple years ago. And in the middle of it, I was just like, I don't even understand what the objective is right now. I get it, it's to hit home runs, but they've complicated it to the point where it's not
Right,
just
and they
to hit
switched
home
to a
runs.
tournament style rather than like the top 8 guys all hit and then the final 3 advance or final 2 advance to the final round.
I think at one point, I think it was 2 years ago, even the broadcasters were like, I think this is what's happening right now. Anyway, 5 different people have been selected so far. There's going to be 8. Right now we know Ronald Acuña's in it, hometown, playing in Atlanta, only has 9 home runs on the year, but has done it through 40 games. I think he's
been hurt all year.
He's earned a spot, especially with it being in Atlanta. James Wood, 23 bombs. We just saw him with the Nationals. Cal Raleigh, who leads the league in home runs at 36, totally deserving of a spot.
Which, by the way, 36 home runs right now.
Come on, man. Ridiculous.
Could be going for 70 bomb.
O'Neal Cruz only has 15 on the year, isn't an all-star, but I'm actually perfect. Like, I'm not going to make the argument he shouldn't be in this because this dude decimates balls. He has the
Just
hardest...
the way that he's going to hit them, he deserves it.
He has the hardest hit ball of each of the past 2 seasons for the StatCast stuff, for the nerds out there. Decimates. And then Byron Buxton, that's the only one that I'm looking at right now. I'm like, are we sure everyone wants to see Byron Buxton in the home run derby? Yeah, 20 bombs. Riley and Torkelson both have more than that. So the last 3 spots are undecided. We should know within the next couple of days. What we do know is Pete Alonso has declined an invite. Kyle Schwarber has declined an invite. Ohtani has declined an invite. Vladimir Guerrero has declined an invite. And Ellie De La Cruz has declined an invite.
And you would assume Aaron Judge is just also not going to be in this.
The fact that MLB.com didn't list him as a player that was declining an invite makes me think maybe there's a chance he wants to go get his second home run derby title.
No Alonso, no Schwarber. Those guys are like the home run derby guys.
Yeah,
especially Alonso.
Alonso's already won it twice. He's done.
He should play in it every year. It's like the Aaron Gordon dunk contest. Like, put him in every year.
I suppose. But he did decline it. So there's 3 spots left. If Judge wants to be in it, obviously he's going to be in it.
Right.
I don't envision Major League Baseball asking 2 different Tigers to be in it. And honestly, I think Spencer Torkelson would be a better person for this than Riley Green. Even though Riley Green has been mashing, but Torkelson, I mean, he crushes, man. He decimates, not O'Neal Cruz style, but Torkelson just feels like a guy who could have
Tork
the
bomb,
stamina, has the bombs, can sit in the box. I just wonder, and rip off however, I just wonder if Major League Baseball thinks he's marketable enough to put him in a group with Acuña and Raleigh and James Wood and Buxton and O'Neal Cruz.
Potentially. As far as that part of it, yeah, I would say maybe Tork being the first overall pick thing.
That would help him.
I think Pete Crow Armstrong is like for sure going to be in this. He seems like a fan favorite. People love him of the Cubs. He's also 23 homers on the year. But I mean, Riley does have more homers, 22. Tork has 21. I mean, what happened to the days when just the top 8 guys are just in it? It's not even like a question of like, do we invite this guy? No, it's just the top 8 guys and homers are in it.
People started declining invites. That's why. Starts passing up on the opportunity.
I used to love the home run derby, dude. That's why I've always loved the MLB All-Star break. Like, When I was a kid, I loved the home run derby. I would do home run derbies at my grandma's house, like out in the yard.
It was objectively the best All-Star Weekend event that wasn't an All-Star game in sports.
Better than dunk contest, better than three-point contest, better than any of the weird stuff they do at the Pro Bowl nowadays.
I don't know if I can still say it is, though.
I think it still is, just because
it's
all
lost
that stuff
a
kind
lot
of
of its momentum.
It has.
I think the three-point contest is
yeah.
Like when Steph versus Ionescu, or if they were to do Clark versus Steph this year, or just bring Caitlin Clark into it. Really? You think so?
She wouldn't do it. She said that last year she wouldn't do it.
Well, she wouldn't do it until they waved $2 million in front of her eyes.
Sure.
I think the three-point contest and the home run derby, the dunk contest still can be great once in a while.
Yeah.
But now it's just way more about the flash and the glamour and who is the coolest props than it is the actual dunks.
We've also seen every dunk ever, so it's just hard to do new stuff.
Right. With the derby, again, I just don't like how much changes they've made to it. It feels like a fashion show or a pageantry more so now than it did 10 years ago, if that makes sense. Back when we had the likes of...
fashion show.
Back when we had, Prince Fielder and Giancarlo Stanton. Those days I thought were like peak home run derby. And then they started messing with the rules and adding the golden ball and a time limit in there rather than strikes. And it just got weird, and they can't seem to figure out and pinpoint the correct way to do it anymore.
Yeah, I don't like the time limit.
I don't like the tournament.
The 10 outs was just the best part.
The tournament doesn't make sense to me because the two best scores could be from the pairing, and then one of these guys is automatically eliminated. That's what happened. Are they doing a tournament this year?
The first year they did that, when it was Pujols versus Schwarber, 1 versus 8, Pujols beat him. And they had the two best scores.
That's why I don't like the tournament style.
Right.
But do you think it's possible that one of these Tigers gets in it? Because I'm starting to think the answer... I don't feel great about it.
You don't?
No, I don't.
With 3 spots left.
Torkelson's not an all-star, so I think they're automatically, you look for an all-star before you look for a non-all-star. And with Riley Green, I don't know, I just think there's a couple more guys that are more marketable, unfortunately. Not to say that Riley Green doesn't deserve a spot in there, because he does have the 22 home runs, but there is something about Green where I'm like, I don't know if he's just meant to sit in the box and just swing over and over and over and launch all these home runs into the out. You know what I mean?
Who is?
Well, power hitters. And I'm not saying Green isn't a power hitter, but it's not like he's just this bomb hitter. You know what I mean?
Right. And I do think when it comes to stuff like this, the MLB likes to prioritize young players or legends.
And Riley kind of fits in the middle.
Riley falls into the young players, I guess, but he's not as young as the James Woods, the O'Neal, I guess Cruz a little bit. But so I don't know. I think that they for sure should get one guy just because they're both 20-plus bombs on the season. There's only 15 guys in the league that have 20 homers, and they're the best team. They deserve one guy at least. Give it to Torkelson, man.
I would love to see Torkelson in it.
Me too.
Colt Keith kind of knocking on the door.
And I would bet on him. Lock of the day, question mark?
No. You know what I'm surprised? Teoscar Hernandez not being in it. He declined an invite too. He's the reigning champ.
Yeah, how many homers has he got though? 14?
He might be hurt though.
Come on.
I would love to see, okay, here's where would you rather see Shohei in it or Riley Green?
Shohei.
Sorry,
Riley Green.
Would you rather see Aaron Judge in it or Riley Green?
Aaron Judge. I mean, obviously.
I'd rather see Riley Green than Aaron Judge. I can't.
But you're just a Judge hater, though.
Correct. Yeah. Let's make that very clear. Judge hater, for sure. I'd rather see Aaron Judge. I'd rather see Riley Green than Judge, but I'd rather see Shohei. But he's already declined the invite, rehabbing with his pitching stuff.
No Pete Alonso, man. That guy. The best was when he used to deadlift minutes before he'd go out for the home run derby.
In between his sets, he's like, sorry, yes. I'm back there taking more
so
BP.
Funny.
He was locked in.
He knew he was being a tryhard, but that's what made it funny.
And he wasn't even there for kicks and giggles, having a good time. He was there to win.
No, he was trying to win. Yeah. It was really funny.
989-837-0967. 6125. Who is the top team in Detroit? Is it the Lions? Is it the Tigers? Have the Tigers surpassed the Lions as the new number one and the new top dog down in Detroit? We've got that and a whole lot more to get to in the 10 o'clock hour, including a Tigers ticket giveaway. It's coming up soon here on the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt. We will be right back. Tigers ticket giveaway coming up soon.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. If you are a business or a nonprofit organization wondering how to navigate today's technologies landscape, let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman Night at Dow Diamond on Saturday, July 12th. The first 1,000 fans through the gates will receive an exclusive Super Lou E bobblehead courtesy of My Michigan Health. Create a lasting memory after the game as you take in Fireworks Loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Don't miss this super night of fun. Get your tickets at loons.com.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day, interscholastic sports in Michigan. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Welcome back in, Ben Bosscher Show, hour number 2 on this Wednesday. About 15 minutes, we will be giving away Detroit Tigers tickets for their game this weekend against the Mariners. That is coming up here in a few minutes. Until then, Kyle, there are some stats that I am just completely out on. The first one that has come to mind over the last year, I've just denied the idea of quarterback stats, like the raw numbers. Hey, look how many passing yards this person has. Look at their touchdown to interception ratio. I kind of throw
all quarterback stats.
Not every single one of them, but certainly passing yards. I do not care who had more passing yards throughout a game. That is like number one. If you want to tell me that this quarterback's better than this quarterback because they threw for more yards, I automatically am just turning my brain off and turning my ears off for the rest of the argument. I don't need to talk to that person anymore if that's legitimately the leg you're going to stand on. Like I had some guy tell me like, hey, Bo Nix outperformed Patrick Mahomes when they played, even though the Broncos lost, because he threw for more passing yards. That means nothing. That means nothing if you couldn't go up and down the field when it mattered most.
Right.
Third and long.
A lot that goes
who's
into
willing
that.
to? Anyway, I've always viewed WAR as a pretty good stat for baseball, but then I saw this last night after it populated onto my X feed, the everything app, because it has everything. So, oh, look at that. Breakfast delivered. Thank you very much, Sarah. Riley Green, Julio Rodriguez. Riley Green is a 2.6 WAR. Julio Rodriguez is a 3.4 WAR. Okay. So they're saying WAR, this is on StatHead. Julio Rodriguez has a 0.8 better WAR, just a better player, contributes to more wins. Riley Green has 8 more hits, double the amount of home runs, 22 to 11, almost double the amount of RBIs, 72 to 43. Julio Rodriguez has 14 more stolen bases. Tigers don't really steal bases. But Riley Green has higher batting average, higher on-base percentage, higher slugging, higher OPS, and obviously, because he has a higher OPS plus. Yet somehow Julio Rodriguez has a higher WAR. All right, is Julio Rodriguez some Golden Glove outfielder? No. And Riley Green, he's not a Gold Glover out there, but he's a damn good outfielder when he's in left field. I guess I'm a little bit confused, and I don't really know exactly how to value WAR at this moment in time. And when I say this moment in time, I mean last night when this popped up on my X feed, X the everything app because it has everything. And
it had that. So,
and now. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And the reason that I feel okay about being like, yeah, I don't know how much it means is because I know all the players hate this stat too.
See, you hated this stat until you saw that you used it for Zach McKinstry's case.
I know.
Oh, he's top 20 in WAR. Look, WAR is, it's almost like the stat that isn't the stats, if that makes sense. Like, it's not based off the stats. Obviously, you look at all of Riley Green's numbers, he's straight up a better hitter than Julio Rodriguez. But just positional advantage plays into WAR like crazy amount. Like the fact that J-Rod plays center field, just the fact that he plays center field gives him a large bump in WAR over Riley Green, who's in left.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Same thing as playing shortstop versus second base. The shortstops are going to get a much bigger bump in WAR. Like, you look at the leaders in WAR, a lot of these guys are catchers, center fielders, or shortstops. And then obviously you have the Aaron Judges of the world and the Juan Sotos of the world, like the star players. But Bobby Witt, CJ Abrams, James Wood, Will Smith, Pete Crow Armstrong, Jacob Wilson, Byron Buxton, these guys are all shortstop, center fielders, catchers.
Like when you look at the list of the guys who are top of WAR right now, it makes sense. Aaron Judge 1, Cal Raleigh 2,
Aaron Judge also with a full point lead over anyone. Crazy.
Yes. Yeah. Tarek Skubal 3, Pete Crow Armstrong 4, Bobby Witt Jr. 5, Shohei Ohtani 6. Like that all makes sense. Until I see something like all those stats I just read, like I just don't understand how Julio Rodriguez has a better WAR than Riley Green. I mean, we'll see those two guys on the field together for 3 games this weekend, and we'll see who the better player is. But
it's because the position is more break down the stat to its name. Wins above replacement. It's harder to be a elite center fielder than it is the average, because the replacement is essentially the average player at that position.
Right.
The average left fielder is much better than the average center fielder.
Offensively.
Well, just in general, because of defensively as well. Like they're much more impactful to the result of a game in center field than they are in left field. And I think Julio Rodriguez's base running plays a lot into this as well.
Yeah,
that's a big
bags.
factor. Like a lot of these guys have the speed that are at the top of this WAR list as well.
Riley Green might be the number 1 player on the Tigers. I actually would never want AJ Hinch to give a steal sign to.
Yeah, you see how he runs?
He's in. I feel like if they were to send Riley Green, AJ Hinch gives Joey Cora the sign. Joey Cora relays it to Riley Green at first, and Riley Green attempted to steal. He'd get injured before he gets halfway to second base.
He just looks injured when he runs. He looks uncomfortable. It's really weird.
He looks like Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. That's like the best way I can put him running. Or it looks like when he's running, he has a stick up his butt. It's weird. But he gets under everything in the outfield. It doesn't make any sense.
You know what he looks like? He looks like when you're like nonchalant playing hoops, like you're trying to look chill. You're like jogging around a little bit, like the slow stepping.
Right, like,
that's what he looks like.
Like when the competition around you, you're clearly better than them, so you're kind of just messing around a little bit, and you're not really giving it your all, but you're still. That is what it feels like.
Yeah.
When he's
Going
rounded
back
second.
to the war stuff, I think that to your point, like the players don't really love it because they don't really know what it is.
Right.
Because what is it, right? Like, what is it measured on? It's really hard to judge. And, like, the positional stuff plays a lot into it, but how is that even measured? So I think that's why people dislike it. I don't think it's a bad stat. I think there's much worse stats.
It's flawed.
Sure. Is it flawed, though? I mean, you look at the list. Like, it's all the best players in baseball at the top.
Do you think Riley Green is a better or worse baseball player than Julio Rodriguez?
This season, Riley Green is having a better year.
That's all I wanted.
So, yeah.
Is there any other stat that fits into this that you just can't, like, you're
that I
out
despise?
on? That you're out on this stat? Because for me, I think it's quarterback. Like, I think I'd value quarterback wins before I value how many yards they throw for. Like, do you remember when we were through 17 weeks 3 years ago and Sam Howell led the league in passing yards? It's like, okay, then I don't care about who leads the league in passing yards because I know Sam Howell's not that good.
Well, and it's just like your team is losing the whole game. You're going to pass a bunch. You know, that's right. So I guess I see your point there. For me, the worst stat, or at least a stat that doesn't matter.
Can I just say one more thing about the passing yards? Like, Mahomes was what, like 240 passing yards a game last year? It was way low. But guess what? They had the number one third down conversion rate in the NFL. They won every single game because when push came to shove, you trusted him to pick up a first down and move the sticks. It wasn't about how many yards they could put up by the end of the game.
Right.
Anyway, that's...
The quarterback stat that I really don't like is completion percentage.
I've gone back and forth on this because Jared Goff, being as good as he has been, has made me open my eyes up a little bit more to
that
completion percentage being a valuable stat. Yeah.
Because obviously, like, the Anthony Richardsons of the world versus the Jared Goffs, like, Goff is clearly a better quarterback because his ability to complete passes. Richardson goes 9 for 27 every game.
I like it in the NFL more than I like it in college. I'll say that. I don't like completion percentage in college because it shows that something like if a quarterback has a crazy high completion percentage in college, they might not be taking the necessary risks throughout the game.
That's fair. I just have never really loved, like, even though Goff is really good at it, like, oh, he went 15 of 15. He's elite. Like, yeah, it's good. Like, Tua's been a really good completion guy as well, but I don't know. That's been a quarterback stat I don't love. You're bringing up college. This isn't like a stat. But I hate that sacks go against the quarterback's rushing yards.
It's the dumbest.
I hate that.
I don't even know if it, like, would you say that's
Why
a
does that
rule
count?
or a statistic? It's so
like, you'll see some quarterbacks games, they'll finish with like minus 55 yards.
Yeah,
rushing.
You mean every Shedeur Sanders game?
Even some Milroe games. It's like, oh yeah, I'm a bet on Jalen Milroe to get 40 rushing yards today. He'll get that. Nope, he finishes with negative 12.
But he had 50 yards.
Yeah.
Rushing when that if that could make one rule in college football, it would be 2 super conferences and don't expand the playoffs.
I've never heard that before.
But if I could make another change in the rule, that would be the second pick. It's like there's no way that should count for negative rushing yards for a quarterback. No way.
No, I agree. I have one more baseball one.
Give me it.
Wins in baseball just don't matter at all.
For a pitcher?
Pitcher wins. I mean, Paul Skeens has...
What about a Tarek Skubal who led the league in wins last year despite the Tigers having a below-average offense?
I mean, that's cool, but like...
Quarterback wins or pitcher wins? What matters more?
Quarterback wins. Right? Pitcher wins aren't important.
Well, they're somewhat important. We've been using it to prop up Casey Mize for a couple weeks.
Stat. I think they're the least important pitcher stat. Like wins and losses. Paul Skeens is 4-7 with a sub-2 ERA. He has a higher WAR than wins. That makes no sense.
No, it really doesn't. But Sam Darnold having 14 wins also doesn't make a whole ton of sense. You know what I mean? I think QB playoff wins matter. I think QB wins matter.
But that's not like a stat. No one's tracking that. That's the team win. The pitcher stats wins and losses are actually measured.
Yeah, it's part of Triple Crown.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wins, ERA, and strikeouts.
Case.
Should be whip over wins. But it's not.
Sure, but like that kind of plays in. Yeah, I guess you're right.
989-837-6125. How about this? When we come back, we're giving away Detroit Tigers tickets. That's next here on the Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
At First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, floors don't just get coated, they get a makeover. Epoxy's so tough, it shrugs off spills, stains, and even your wildest dance moves. Garages, workshops, anywhere you want a floor that's smooth, shiny, and just a little bit sassy, they handle it all with style. No more boring floors. Get ready to impress everyone who walks through the door. Slide into durability and flair. First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed.
Suit up, Sea Captain. At Dive and Glide in Midland, we've got all the gear you need to make a splash. Flippers that fit like a glove, masks that show you the underwater magic, and tanks ready to fuel your next adventure. Whether you're snorkeling the local lakes or dreaming of ocean depths, Dive and Glide has your back and your fins. Find us on Cambridge Street or swim over to diveandglideinc.com. Dive and Glide, making waves one splash at a time so you can dive deeper than ever before.
Something is amiss at Dow Diamond. The award-winning True Crime Night returns for the Great Lakes Loons on Thursday, July 10th. And this time, our beloved golden bobblehead is missing. It's an evening filled with suspense and intrigue. Join the investigation to uncover the mystery and help solve the case of who framed Lou E. Loon. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Michigan for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, who wants Detroit Tigers tickets? We're giving tickets away for Sunday's game against...
Me.
You can't win them. I guess you could if you text in with a fake number and then I accidentally chose that number. I would have no way of knowing.
I've never done that before.
Look, we're giving away tickets for this Sunday's game. It's their last game before the All-Star break. Last chance to see that gritty Tigers team before the All-Star break, before a little bit of pause. And what you know right now is that they are the best team in baseball. So, hey, why not take advantage of it? Here's how you win. Text into 989-837-6125, this keyword. Let's do pause. P-A-W-S. Pause. The mascot. The name of the mascot. Pause. He's a cool guy. Maybe you'll see him there. You'll definitely see him there at some point. So text in pause to 989-837-6125. We'll pick a winner here momentarily. Until then, and by the way, you don't have to be first. You don't have to be last. You don't have to be second.
Just
There's no
pause.
order. Just text pause into that number. And in about 15 or so minutes, we will select a winner. In the meantime, let's take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
So are we just going to gloss over the fact that, like, you had a smoothie delivered to you this morning?
I know.
And a plate of breakfast?
I haven't paid for any of it.
What's coming
either.
next, bro?
I don't know.
Just a plate of cash coming next?
That'd be nice. I think I'd rather just take the free Oh, here's a good one. Ready? Would you rather have $5,000 delivered to you right now, untaxed, or free breakfast for the rest of your life? And you don't have to make it. It just hand delivered right in front of your
Free
face.
breakfast for the rest of my life.
Yep.
That's the easiest decision ever.
What if it was $10K?
This is just probably free breakfast.
Okay. All right, let's take a trip around the league.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so we're ranking breakfast. No, I'm kidding. Ranking the NFL's wide receiver, tight end, and running back groups for 2025. This is 1 through 32, ESPN article. So essentially, the weapon groups of every team. You've talked about how you think maybe that's the best position group on the Lions.
I do. I really do believe it. I think it's the best position group across the NFL. So I'm just going to go ahead and insert the Lions to this number one spot. I hope I'm right. I feel like I am right. I don't know if I'll be right in terms of this list, but
right.
I believe that the
feel.
Lions have the best weapon group in the NFL. And that is how they will substitute for having a worse offensive line this year.
Right. We'll have you guess the top 10. Lions, number 2.
Oh, man.
This actually does give us, dude, they must have done this last couple years. It gives us the 2023 and 2024 ranking. Lions were 7th last year and 16th the year before. So really just climbing the rankings a lot these last couple years.
How are they second? They have the 2 running back. They have the 2-headed monster. They have a top 4 tight end. Maybe they're just looking at Laporta's raw numbers. They're like, look at him. He had a worse year. So stupid.
So who do you think number 1 is?
The Bengals.
The Bengals are number 3.
Okay, they're missing the tight end and the
11th
running
last
back.
year. Yeah, I mean, Chase Brown was pretty good last year, but
is it
they just had the best wide receiver duo.
Is it the Buccaneers as number 1?
Solid guess for the Bucs. They're 7th. Weren't top 10 last year. They honestly have a pretty good, like with Bucky Irving, those receivers.
It's just solid. There's no superstar, but it's
Cade
solid
Otton is like a
across the
solid
board.
tight end. Yeah, you're right. It is just solid. Still missing number 1.
I don't think it's this team, but I'll throw them out there because they're probably in the top 10. Is it the Vikings? Just because they have the best weapon in the NFL?
Vikings are 6th, and they've been top 5 the last couple years. Yeah, I mean, they have Jefferson. Aaron Jones is whatever. Jordan Addison's a solid number 2 for sure. Hawkinson, when healthy's good. So it makes sense. Still missing number 1.
If you tell me the Packers are on this list,
face.
If you, sorry, I'm choking on bacon. If you tell me the Packers are on this list, I might walk out.
I mean, that's just the worst guess of it.
I'm not guessing the Packers.
Okay,
but they're
I'm
not in the
telling
top
you
10, right?
They're 17th.
Thank God.
Too high.
Am I like being dumb about this?
Yeah, for sure. Like really dumb. Best player at their position group.
Oh, it's the Eagles. It's the
Eagles. Yes. Yeah. Barkley, a really good receiver duo with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Tight end is kind of.
I don't know,
Dallas
man.
Goedert is
I don't know. Would you rather have Saquon or the combo of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs? Because I'd easily rather take the combo.
The thing is, like, people just be glazing Saquon. Man.
I know.
Like crazy. That's why I sold my Saquon stock the other day. Because I was just like, I like Saquon. I think he's really good. I'm kind of getting sick of him.
I don't think it's even a question. You'd rather have the tandem from a health standpoint than just Saquon Barkley. I'd rather have...
You would think so.
I'd rather have Sam Laporta than Dallas Goedert. I think...
Amon-Ra, A.J. Brown is a good debate. You could go either way.
But Amon-Ra has outperformed him each of the last 2 seasons.
Has he?
Yes.
But would you rather have A.J. Brown's archetype of receiver than St. Brown's? Probably.
A year ago, I would have said yes. Amon-Ra has been, the production just speaks for itself.
You're right.
I want that guy on my team. I know what I'm getting on a week-to-week basis. And I know if he doesn't get the ball for a game, he's not going to freak out and cry and make a big deal out of it. I love A.J. Brown. A little bit of a crybaby.
Like most receivers.
Not St. Brown.
And then Devontae Smith is definitely a better wide receiver, too, than J-Mo.
For now. Even if he is, I still think the argument is better for the Lions, right?
Yeah, I don't disagree. All right, so you have the top three. You have Eagles, Lions, Bengals. You're missing number 4, number 5, number 8, and number 9 and 10. Really don't have a lot of the list. What are you looking at, man?
The Loons Cup pairings. I'm getting thrown a curveball. I thought I was going to be with Brad.
I can see it up there.
I'm not.
Wow, a curveball.
We'll
figure this out off air.
What am I guessing right now?
Okay. You know what you're guessing right now. You didn't lose all that. You are missing number 4, 5, 8, 9, 10.
That was what
Half
I was
the
asking.
list.
4, 5, 8, 9, 10. I don't think. No, there's no way the Bears are on this. See, it's funny because the teams with the best quarterbacks don't really belong on this list at all.
The Bears are so low.
I know.
25th.
Like, I don't want to guess Ravens, Chiefs, or Bills, really. The Ravens might be the only one just because they have Henry. I'll guess Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens are 8th. Derrick Henry making a big play here. But then, like, I don't know. I'm not a big Zay Flowers guy. They have, D-Hop now? Mark Andrews kind of fallen off.
Yeah.
Isaiah Likely's fine. Like, 8th is kind of crazy, honestly.
Are the Dolphins on this list? Are they
Dolphins
in the top
are
10? Ugh.
They're 10th. I mean, what do you mean, ugh? They have a solid group. Achane at running back with Tyreek and Waddle. Like, it's fine.
And Darren Waller.
Right, yes. It's a sweep.
I can't believe that's still on there. Are the Jets on here?
The New York Football
Mason Taylor,
Jets,
Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall.
Still scrolling.
Okay, that's a no then.
The Jets are 27th. The Giants are over the Jets.
That seems really low. I
guess everyone's
really
out
low.
on Breece Hall. It does seem really low.
The Jaguars.
The Jaguars?
The Jaguars. Yes, the Jaguars.
Bro.
They have one of the best wide receiver
Brian
duos
Thomas.
in the NFL.
What? Hunter hasn't even played a game.
He's Travis Hunter.
He might be a cornerback.
He's Travis Hunter.
The Jags are 18th. They also have Travis Etienne man in their backfield. And tell me who their tight end is.
Evan Ingram? Is he still
he's
there?
Gone.
No.
Denver.
The Rams.
don't even
Oh, the
list their
Rams.
tight
The
end.
Rams. The Rams. Devontae.
Yeah, Rams are 8th.
I'm only missing 4.
Rams are 5th. Yeah, with Devontae and Puka, really good running back duo or wide receiver duo.
So
Kyron Williams at running back, pretty good.
Am I only missing number 4?
Number 4 and number 9. One of the I don't agree with number 4.
Chargers.
No. They got to be kind of close, though. Chargers are, never mind. A lot of scrolling here. I mean, I guess they're 22nd. Okay, here's the hint. The team that's number 4 has been ranked number 1 the last 2 years. 2023 and 24, they were ranked number 1. I disagree, especially coming into this year.
The Chiefs? There's no way.
Chiefs are not in the top 10. 12th.
Is it the Niners?
It's the Niners.
At 4?
At 4. They were 1 the last 2 years. They love McCaffrey. They love Kittle. Ayuk is literally going to be out probably the whole year. Maybe not the whole year, but for
I disagree.
a long chunk. Debo's gone.
I disagree.
Who are their receivers? I mean, Juwan Jennings. Ricky Pearsall. Sure. 4 is crazy. Missing one more team.
Houston?
Number 9. No, Houston's not on here. It's a decent guess. They're 14th. I honestly think this team should be higher.
AFC or NFC?
NFC.
Seattle.
No. This team isn't very good, but like they have pretty solid weapons.
Arizona?
No. Arizona's 15th. This team missed the playoffs last year. I'm trying to give you other hints. Young. They have some young guys. They've taken, all 3 position groups top 10 in the draft that are currently on this team.
Oh, Atlanta.
The Falcons, yes, number 9. Honestly, I think they're pretty good. Like, Bijan is one of the better running backs in the league. Drake London has turned into a stud.
I'm pretty sure I just read a piece that Kyle Pitts was about to break out.
I read that piece 3 years ago, and 2 years ago, and last year.
And 4 years ago.
Right. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait.
Solid list.
I want you to guess who the worst team is.
Oh, Panthers. Saints.
Scrolling, sorry. Panthers are 31. Saints are a lot higher, 24.
Okay.
This makes sense. Like, I really don't know a lot of guys on this offense.
Tennessee?
Yeah, Tennessee.
What do you mean you don't? Tyler Lockett, Calvin
Pollard.
Ridley. You got
they have the
Restrepo in there.
pulling up in Tennessee. It's crazy.
Calvin Ridley's not that old, is he? Calvin Ridley killed the Lions last year.
He's getting old. Yeah, he killed the Lions when they lost by 1,000.
He's 30. Yeah, you're right. He's 30. Remember, he had 2 touchdowns in the first, though? I was like, geez, Calvin Ridley. They've got Xavier Restrepo from Miami coming in to help Cam Ward. I actually like Tennessee a little bit more than most people, I feel like, going into the year.
Well, ESPN doesn't.
Clearly. All right, 989-837-6125. When we come back, we'll have our winner selected for...
Pause.
That's right, for the Tigers giveaway. We'll give you guys about another minute if you want those tickets for this Sunday. Text in pause to 989-837-6125. We'll have a winner when we come back. It is the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Logan Snyder from Bullet Creek High School. With a 3.94 GPA, Logan's a member of the varsity golf team, revitalizing a program that was dormant when he was a freshman 4 years ago. Logan great at golf and in the classroom, and also volunteers, including at the Midland Miracle Field.
I love working with those kids, and it's always so much fun to see them getting to play the game we all get to love to play. Just getting to see them going up to bat, hitting the ball, no matter how far it goes, and they're just super excited. It just warms my heart every time.
Logan will be attending Ferris State in the fall and plans to study in their PGA Golf Management program. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themid.com.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. Let's clean up that yard. Save $3 instantly on select Roundup and Ortho weed killers. Save $10 on 64-ounce spruce, weed, and grass killer. You know what season it is? Grilling season. Free assembly and delivery on grills, $399 and up from brands like Weber and Traeger. Need that deck touched up? Do it and save $10 instantly on a gallon of Cabot exterior stain.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm going to go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we got it. Run! Get out! Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
If you're near retirement or thinking about retiring, you probably have a lot of questions. How do you make your retirement savings last? How much should you take out and when? You're ready for retirement, but are your finances? I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Kevin Spencer. Let's work together to make sure your finances meet your unique needs over the long haul. You've done what it takes to get there. Now it's time to make the most of retirement.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Welcome back into the Ben Bosscher Show. We picked out our winner. We texted them. We reached out to them. We're waiting for a confirmation from that person. So, hey, if you didn't win and we don't hear from this person by the time the 10 o'clock hour is done, we're going to reach out to someone else. So, I guess you can cross your fingers and hope, but if this person responds, we're just going to give the tickets to this person. Fair enough?
Yeah.
All
Got
right.
to text back, man.
Got to text back. So if you text it in, check your phone. Check your phone. All right. 989-837-6125. Kyle, how big of a step back did the Lions offensive line take? Because I view this Frank Ragnow loss as pretty detrimental to what I considered to be the best unit on this team. We went through and just ranked all the top weapon groups across the NFL, and I firmly believe that the Lions should have the number one ranked unit. I think that's the new strength of the team between St. Brown, Jamo, and Laporta, Gibbs, Montgomery. I think it's the best group of weapons in the NFL. With that being said, they no longer have the best offensive line in the NFL, and I don't even think that's up for debate. Right? For the last 2 years, it's been Lions-Eagles. Who has the best offensive line? I'll tell you right now, the Eagles do. Right? The Eagles lost out on Kelsey a couple years back. They haven't taken a step backwards. Can the Lions do the same thing? That feels unlikely considering they're replacing not one but two guys, and they're replacing them with a guy that I don't think either of us trust in Graham Glasgow. And then the other two people that are kind of substituting in are either first or second year players. That to me is a level of concern that I can't really put into words until I see it. I would say my biggest concern with that is pressure up the middle, especially at the beginning of the season when the Tate Ratledge and Christian Mahogany are just, fresh. They're getting new reps. They're new to the offense. Being so young and the lack of experience, I'd be worried about pressure coming up the middle because we saw that in the NFC divisional round last year. Pressure up the middle causes Jared Goff to see bad things. Graham Glasgow allowed 10 pressures up the middle in that game. He's slated to be the other starting guard, and I think he can start out the year strong, but by the end of it, I'm concerned about his durability. So between those three guys in the middle manning that side of it up, I'd be worried about the pressure, and I'd be worried about these 3rd and 1s that just felt automatic last year for David Montgomery, because you could just run the ball to the right side behind Frank Ragnow, Kevin Zeitler, and Penei Sewell. Now it's Penei Sewell, a guy you don't trust in Graham Glasgow, and a rookie in Tate Ratledge on that side of the ball. I don't know if the 3rd and 1s are as automatic as they were. Not to say I think this is going to be a failure, and I'm not trying to put any fear into Lions fans by any means, but this team has taken a step back, and I don't think that's up for debate, at least in that department.
Yeah, I mean, to say you're not concerned would be a lie. You have to be at least
naive.
A little bit worried. I mean, Frank Ragnow is the most legendary Lion we've had in the last, 10 years post-Stafford. Other than Stafford, having Penei Sewell makes you feel still good. And honestly, I think a part about this that we have failed to discuss is the fact that Hank Fraley's still here, Lions offensive line coach, a guy that has been in serious talks for offensive coordinator gigs the last couple years, stayed, gets really talked about as an elite offensive line coach. I'm confident in him to make sure that the rookies are ready to go. Now, are they going to be as good as Ragnow and Zeitler? I think that would be pretty poor thinking to think that. But are they going to be sustainable so that this is still a top 5, a top 10 unit in the NFL? I think there's a pretty good chance of it. I mean, they did draft Ratledge high. They clearly have a lot of faith in him because they were playing him at center when he wasn't drafted as one. So I think that Hank Fraley still being here, it gives me a lot of confidence that this offensive line is still going to be above average and hopefully more so good or great.
I think they're still above average because they have Penei Sewell. Right. I think it'd be
it's like
pretty
the Vikings
hard.
weapons group with Jefferson. They're still good.
Right. It's pretty hard to consider this unit anything but above average when you have the best offensive lineman on your team. And I think there's a pretty significant gap between Penei Sewell and whoever you think the second best offensive lineman is in the NFL. For that reason alone, and for how they use Penei Sewell in all these pulling ways and they're putting him in a motion, yes, they are an above average group. Now, with that being said, again, that's just 1/5 of the offensive line, 1/6
Still
of
got
it
Dan
at times.
Skippa.
Yeah, exactly. You still have Dan Skippa. But that middle group, man, it's just a little bit concerning. 3 new, I mean, Graham Glasgow's not new, but we don't really know where he's slated to start this year. But regardless, it's 3 new guys in terms of where they're playing at left, right, and center. Or left guard, right guard, and center. That should concern anybody. And, you know, it's funny because I say that, and Minnesota also, exact same situation. 3 new guys, center, left guard, right guard. Chicago Bears, exact same situation. 3 new guys, center, left guard, right guard. But those were also 2 of the worst units in the NFL last season.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Groups, and it's nothing.
They're getting new guys in a good way.
It's nothing. Yeah, that is an upgrade. For the Lions, it's the opposite. It's a little bit of a downgrade. So, I think I'm a little concerned.
With the fact that it's Goff too.
I'm like 8 out of 10 concerned, I would say. No, maybe 7.
I would give it a 5. Like, I'm concerned, but I think that I also am confident. Like, I think it could work out. I think Ratledge could be good right away.
I'm buying
Mahogany has shown us that he can be good.
Yeah, in his 2 starts. And he was really good in that NFC Championship game, too. He had one of the highest graded PFF scores there was. But, hey, even PFF was like, yeah, this is not going to be a great
between Ragnow and Sewell. So it's like, I understand.
Well, he was on the left side that game.
He was left. Yeah. Right.
Because Zeitler was still on that right side.
And Decker still, like, can Decker put together one more competent season? Because there was some signs last year. I don't think he was overall bad last season.
I don't think he was overall bad. However,
but it was his worst year he's had in a while.
When Decker is matched up against some of the perennial All-Pro, Pro
which
Bowl
there are
type
a lot of them,
edge rushers, he looks like a little boy compared to
that is an insult.
It is an insult. But when he was lined up across from Micah Parsons or Bosa, it got ugly really fast. Really fast. He just doesn't have the same step he used to. That's all.
Right. I would give it a 5 out of 10 concern. I think that 8 is a little bit too high. I could see a 7 because this was the Lions' best group, and it's why Goff is so good too. How much is this going to hinder Goff's performance is really the biggest red flag?
Yes.
Because he obviously needs to stay up.
989-837-6125. Hey, we got a response from our winner. Congratulations to Caleb from Gladwin. You are going to be going to the Detroit Tigers game this Sunday against the Mariners, their last game before the All-Star break. Congratulations to Caleb. We'll get you those tickets here shortly.
Woo-hoo.
If you didn't win, you got another chance to win next Wednesday, the following Wednesday. Every Wednesday this summer, we're giving away Detroit Tigers tickets. Thank you for everyone who texted in today. I don't know if I made it clear, though, that the word was pause, as in the mascot name. Because a couple people texted in the word
pause, like
P-A-U-S-E.
Right.
Yeah. Couple people.
They don't deserve to win.
Okay.
Why would that be the word?
Maybe I just need to enunciate more. Pause.
Pause.
As in, not the mitt, but the pause. Get it?
No, I don't get it.
Because we work at 100 point. Okay. 989-837-6125. Hey, there's a new type of person that I do not like. at the gym. That is next here on the Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandell.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent located downtown Midland. Look, I just want to take this time to appreciate Will Vest. Will Vest has been such a rock this season for the Tigers out of the bullpen. When you talk about some of the big issues with this Tigers team, well, one, there's not a lot of big issues. There's not a lot of issues in general. But the bullpen comes up as a sign of concern. Look, as long as Will Vest is pitching in a playoff series, in any series, you're fine. The combination of Canely and him have been lights out this season, but man, Will Vest comes in last night, K's 3, shows that emotion after getting that third and final strikeout to win the game. And it takes me back to that June 15th game against the Reds where Will Vest gave up a few runs and then looked like he potentially got hurt on a wild pitch. Remember how screwed we thought the Tigers bullpen was when that happened? How terrified we all were? I know I was. Because without Will Vest, this is a way different team. Since that game, by the way, since returning, 7 innings pitched, 0 runs given up, 11 Ks. I know we talk about Zach McKinstry as the big all-star snub of the Tigers. I'd say it's Will Vest, one of the best closers in all the American League. And that's what separates this 2025 Tigers team from that 2012 Tigers team. An elite high-leverage closer to come in and win you games. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland.
Hey, sports fans heading up north, whether you're gearing up for the big game, hosting friends, or winding down after a long day, Hops and Schnapps is your ultimate beverage destination. With one of the largest selections of beer, wine, and spirits in Michigan featuring over 1,000 options from around the globe, we're your beverage experts. Plus, our friendly team is here to help you find the perfect pick. Visit us in Standish, Grayling, and Gaylord today. Hops and Schnapps, raise your glass, raise your spirits.
Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition, the Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pools, a $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open Tournament, and a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industries. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldofframesfest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
Midland Eye Care wants you to know, according to a recent study conducted by the AOA, the Optical Laboratories Association, and the Vision Council, nearly half of all glasses ordered online had either prescription errors or failed to meet minimum safety standards. Midland Eye Care offers a full-service optical department meeting all your eye care needs. So call your local Midland Eye Care and avoid incorrect prescriptions costing you time and money. Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and on East Washington and Freeland.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while. One where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back into the Ben Bosscher Show, right here on 100.9 The Mitt. Hey, we've gone over this, right? The type of people at the gym that I despise, the people who scream during their sets, and I don't mean, let out a heavy breath or a grunt. I mean the people who just genuinely scream. You don't get it. The people who open the sauna door and just let it stay open for more than like 3 seconds. Those are the worst people on the planet. And then the people who enter the sauna and then leave again like within 45 seconds because it's too hot, and then they let all the cold air in again, also despise. There's a new group.
Are you like a hateful person at this point?
Maybe. I don't know. There's a new group of people at the gym that I've learned to despise. Despise is the word I keep coming back to. And that would be the people at the gym who wear sunglasses during their workouts. This didn't affect my workout in any way, shape, or form. At least it shouldn't have, just sticking to myself.
It should have.
Got my AirPods
Sounds
in.
like it did.
I have my AirPods in, doing my own lift, and talk to this guy. Could be a really nice fella. Don't know his name. But when I looked over and saw that he was wearing sunglasses indoors during his lift in the gym, I don't know why I got really angry. I couldn't stand it. I kept looking over like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah,
Why?
There's probably no point to doing that.
There is
I'll
no
agree
point.
with you in that. But this is different than the sauna stuff. That stuff,
I know. I know.
Definitely affected you.
Yeah.
This is just like, how does that matter? What does it matter?
It doesn't.
Next week, you're about to come out here and be like, the people I hate at the gym are the people that go to the gym.
No, I don't think I'll ever go that far. But
I
don't know what it was.
Gym,
but
I hate you.
Just walking around with the sunglasses on, and then
No, that's fair.
It shouldn't have affected me whatsoever. I'll fully admit that. But for some reason, I just got angry. And then, in my head, I kept trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, well, maybe he's like concussed and sensitive to light. But then why would he be lifting at the gym? Then the more I kept trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, I kept saying to myself, you know what?
Yeah,
no,
there
forget
isn't
this
many
guy.
reasons.
No, forget this guy.
Forget this guy.
This guy can, get out. Go live somewhere else. Somewhere where it's sunny out, because clearly you want to wear these sunglasses all the time.
Is the sun poking in?
No. This is an indoor gym. That's not all that bright. It's not overlighted, But he was pretty dead set on wearing them the entirety of his lift. And for some reason, I can't really explain why, but it bothered me to a degree I can't even comprehend. I don't know why, but it bothered me.
One thing that bothers me, and this didn't personally happen to me recently, I just kind of popped up in my head, is the guy at the gym or girl that is like on the phone with someone.
Oh.
But like if they're on their AirPods, it's whatever. Like sometimes you have to take a call, you can't decline it. Whatever.
Walk somewhere else though. Walk to the corner.
It's when you like rock it on speakerphone. As you're ripping the Smith machine.
This isn't
you
even
just have speakerphone going.
Hold on.
It's like
this isn't even a gym thing though. If you're a speakerphone in public person,
yeah.
No, that does not fly for me. No one wants to hear your conversations, man. Take that somewhere else. Put your AirPods in, go talk quietly somewhere else. Because I've had to take calls.
What if you don't have AirPods, man? Not everyone has them.
Then walk into a different room. You can't take a call in the middle of the gym like that. I also can't stand the people who talk to each other from across the gym and have an entire conversation with
what are we doing?
With their boy that's on the other side of the weight room. I've got my noise cancellation
hey, how's
modes
them
on.
RDLs going, bro?
I've got my noise cancellation on my AirPods on, and these guys are just like screaming at each other, telling what they're lifting today. It's like, why? What's the point of that, man? You don't got to scream. You go have a casual conversation. Oh, there was one more that I can't recall right now. But yeah, it's sunglasses, people who open the door for the sauna, and yeah, we can throw the speakerphone people on there too. That's just in general lack of self-awareness. Speakerphone in public, not just at the gym.
Yeah. Yeah, even like at the store.
Is that worse than playing music through the phone? Because music through the phone.
Playing music through the phone. What? Who does that?
Some sickos.
Sometimes I'll do that when I'm on a run. Like if my AirPods have died, I'll just play music off my phone while I'm running.
Yeah, but
that's different.
At the gym in public, you're like, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm just
like
gonna
that.
play this music. There's a guy who brings a speaker once in a while. I'm like, well, that kind of defeats the purpose of
honestly
me
that's
having my own music. No, not for everybody else.
You're right.
It's like, well, now I can kind of hear two different songs going at the same time, and that's not very nice. That's not very cool at all. Not a big fan of that either.
I mean, the sunglasses inside is your worst take yet.
That's fine. I'm
doesn't
aware.
affect anyone.
I'm aware of how selfish that take is because it shouldn't have affected me at all.
But the worst person at the gym is the person that's using the bench press when I want to.
That's true. I don't run into that too much at the community center because there's enough racks to where it's usually not a problem unless you go at like 5:30 on a certain day of the week. Maybe you'll run into that issue, but I don't actually run into that issue very often. We do have a text coming in that says, "Please, Ryan Sandel." That's you, Kyle. You're now Ryan.
I guess so.
Don't be irritated about a guy that wears sunglasses. People who grunt and
that
talk
was you.
loud. I know.
Not me.
People who grunt and talk loud about what they're lifting is stupid, but Bosscher whining a lot. What? I don't understand.
He's right. I mean, you are kind of whining a lot.
I know. Yeah, no, I know. And that's fine, you know? Sometimes you just got to let it all out.
See, I'm not like a people watcher when I go to the gym. I'm just dialed in.
You're just too locked into yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I'm too locked in. Like, I probably wouldn't even have noticed this guy was rocking shades.
Oh, it would have been impossible to not notice. Because if you're wearing the shades in the gym, I think it's like somewhat of an attention thing. Like, you want people to look at you. This the same goes for the people who scream while they're lifting at the gym. It's like, relax, man. You don't need to scream at the top of your lungs. We all see the weights you're lifting. We all see it. You don't need to draw even more attention to yourself. I feel like these things fall under the same umbrella, you know? These people want to be seen. They want to be seen.
They want people to be like, what are they doing?
Yeah. All right. Anyway. 989-837-6125. Hey, the conversation that we keep going back to and that I want to bring back in the 11 o'clock hour is, have the Tigers pass the Lions for Detroit's best team? Because the more and more I think about it, I think last night's game specifically is making me kind of lean Tigers. And that's not the direction that I've leaned for the last few months. I've always made the case that, hey, once this Lions team is healthy, I'm going to feel pretty good about this Lions team heading into next season. But that was before the Frank Ragnow retirement. That was before they lost Kevin Zeitler free agency. All of a sudden, I am a little bit worried about that offensive line. And I look at this Tigers team, and all the worries that I once had are starting to disappear. It makes no sense for it to not be the Tigers at this point in the season. And Vegas agrees with me. 989-837-6125. Once again, we want to congratulate Caleb, our winner for Big Win Wednesday. He's going to the Detroit Tigers game this Sunday against the Mariners. We're giving away Detroit Tigers tickets every Sunday for the rest of the summer. Right? Last week, we gave away tickets for this Saturday's game. Today, we gave away tickets for this Sunday's game as a part of our gift to the people of the Great Lakes Bay region. And thanks to our partnership over at Garber Chevrolet Midland, we will be giving away those tickets every Wednesday for the rest of the summer. It's your chance to go see the hottest team in baseball in what is one of the most electric atmospheres in Major League Baseball.
Yeah. It's like the best time ever to go to Comerica, honestly.
Right, because this week, specifically this weekend, I guess I haven't looked at the weekend weather yet, but the last couple of days, it hasn't been too hot to where you sit there and you're just frying in the sun, but it's not like it's cold. It's like that perfect sit and relax and watch baseball weather. It's perfect.
Even when you are frying in the sun, though, it's like, how bad really is my life? I'm at the Tigers game.
That's true. There was one day I went 2 summers ago and it was like 95. And I will say that was not
really
very
hot.
fun. That was not fun. I fell asleep because I was so overwhelmed by the sun.
Bring some sunscreen, Caleb.
Yeah, bring some sunscreen. 989-837-6125. Still a lot coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. Again, we want to go back to that conversation regarding the Lions and the Tigers, who has overtaken the top spot as that top team in Detroit. And then again, we got to get our news, and we got to get Lock of the Day back on track because, well, it's been a disaster. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with the Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more, with 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
Transform your outdoor space with Maple Hill Nursery. Whether you're a gardening enthusiast or just looking to relax in style, they have everything you need. From premium polywood furniture that never needs painting to top quality plants and trees, Maple Hill Nursery has it all. Plus, they offer free setup and delivery on in-stock barbecue grills. Visit them today just north of Midland Mall or check out their website for pro tips and expert advice. Maple Hill Nursery, making your yard the place to be.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh. Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10. Or at PremierTileStone.com.
Something is amiss at Dow Diamond. The award-winning True Crime Night returns for the Great Lakes Loons on Thursday, July 10th. And this time, our beloved golden bobblehead is missing. It's an evening filled with suspense and intrigue. Join the investigation to uncover the mystery and help solve the case of who framed Lou E. Loon. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
(989-837-6125). Welcome back into the Ben Bosscher Show. Hour number 3 on its way here in the Great Lakes Bay region. If you're live on YouTube, appreciate you as well. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. All right.
And the like button, too. We just got a watching to like ratio that's just not acceptable.
Hey, we don't want to upset Kyle, all right? Or Ryan. We don't want to accept Ryan.
Yeah, you don't want to upset Ryan, man.
All right, so go ahead and hit that like button. Ryan/Kyle would appreciate it. All right. This Tigers team, I thought last night's win was fascinating for a handful of different reasons. It was their 4th time that they've had a 5-game win streak. They're going for their season high tonight, 6 straight wins, if they're able to pull it off. The sweep against Tampa Bay, that game is tonight at 5:40, is it at the time it got moved to? Or 5:30?
5:10.
Oh, 5:10. My bad. So the reason I thought it was so fascinating, other than the fact that they got another win in the win column, was the two things that we have been fixating over in terms of how this team can improve at the deadline has been adding a starting pitcher because Jack Flaherty has been poor as of late, and adding bullpen arms because, well, you can never have enough, and Tyler Holton and Brendan Hanafy had struggled as of late as well. Well, Flaherty takes the mound last night and goes 6 1/3, 8 Ks, 1 walk. That knuckle curve that he throws was forcing a lot of swing and miss yesterday. A lot. It wasn't his best outing, but it was a good outing. And you'll take that at this moment for a guy who, at this point, is probably viewed as pitcher number 4 in the rotation. In his last 3 starts, 26 Ks, 7 walks. He's back on track compared to what he was at the beginning of June. That was one weakness. That weakness has seemed to be corrected in some way, shape, or form. That other weakness, the bullpen, that has been corrected. Tyler Holton has now had 7 straight outings where he has not allowed a single run. 9.2 innings of work. Hanafy has only allowed 1 run in his past 5 outings. Yesterday, the bullpen has a perfect outing. Vest 3 Ks to close out the 9th inning. No runs allowed for the bullpen. Holton's ERA is down 2 whole points since the beginning of July. He's had 4 outings just this month. 7 Ks, 0 walks over that stretch. And hasn't walked anyone since May. That's crazy. The bullpen is back on track. Jack Flaherty is back on track to the point where now I throw my hands up and say, I don't really know what to tell you what their number one need is at the deadline because everything seems to be working right now for this Tigers team. Now, gun to my head, if I had to tell you something that they need to improve on, I'd say, hell, get another bullpen arm and get another starter. Why not make your team even better? Jack Flaherty's still somewhat of a concern, and so is the bullpen, so go ahead and improve those things. But for as much as we've talked about them being a concern, they've been better as of late. It feels like even this team's weaknesses are hardly weaknesses at all. This team doesn't have any holes in their 40-man roster or their 26-man roster. This team, every time we talk about one thing going wrong, something else goes right, and eventually the thing that went wrong corrects itself. After last night, me watching the bullpen really establish themselves as some guys, right? Holton was a nasty arm in the pen last season, struggled at the beginning of this year, back on track. Flaherty, pretty much the same thing, back on track. Now that I'm seeing this play out, yesterday was the first time I had the thought to myself of, I think this just might be Detroit's best team. As much as I love this Lions team, as much as I made the argument, hey, when Hutchinson's healthy, when McNeil's healthy, going back to last year when Carlton Davis was healthy, this was one of the best defenses in the NFL. And if they would have stayed healthy, I think they would have won the Super Bowl. All that remains true. But now looking forward to this season, even with a healthy defense, again, McNeil's probably not coming back till Thanksgiving. Hutch is going to be ready by the beginning of the year. Even with that total 180 you expect to see from a defensive standpoint, this offensive line, the bread and butter, the unit that this team was built on and all its success, is taking a pretty significant step back this year. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to admit it or not, it is going to. This was the best offense in the NFL last season. I have a really hard time believing that that's repeatable when you lose out on a Frank Ragnow, when you lose out on a Kevin Zeitler, and replace them with 2 guys who are either rookies or in their second season. Whether you like it or not, and whether we like talking about it or not, the offensive line is not as good as they once were. Which means this team's new best strength, what they're built on, is no longer the offensive line. I think it's the weapons. Kyle, you've made the point it could be the secondary. I've made the point, hell, it could be the defensive line. The defense could end up being the strength of this team. They're a well-rounded team. They're still one of the best in the NFL. They have the 5th shortest odds to win the Super Bowl. But guess what? The Tigers have the 2nd shortest odds to win the entire World Series. and they're the number 1 team odds-wise, according to Vegas, in the American League. The Lions are number 2 in the NL, or in the NFC, excuse me. The Lions, I think, are mostly the same from last season. They're not as good as they were at the beginning of last year when they were truly one of the best teams we've ever seen from a DVOA standpoint when the defense was healthy, because with this new offensive line, I think they've just taken a step back. I've made that clear. I don't think I need to repeat myself any further. This Tigers team has no weakness at this moment. They still need to get better at the deadline, add a bullpen arm, add a starter to some extent. But now that you have Colt Keith as one of the hottest bats in Major League Baseball, now that you have Zach McKinstry back in the mix as one of the best utility guys, the guy who could potentially be an all-star depending on some injuries, Riley Green is still amongst the hottest bats in baseball. Spencer Torkelson hit his 21st bomb yesterday. This team is so deep, so complete, and has no weakness across the board, that right now I'm actually open to the idea of them being Detroit's number 1 team. Especially when you consider what their minor league system looks like right now. 3 top 60 guys all just get called up to Double-A, and all had a pretty good debut yesterday too. It's a healthy organization, Kyle. And from just this team's standpoint, who do I think has a better chance of winning a title? The Tigers with the World Series or the Lions with the Super Bowl? I honestly think it's the Tigers and this World Series that's right in front of their eyes right now.
Well, especially when you look at all the Tigers' strengths and how they kind of correlate in a playoff series. Because obviously we talk about the weaknesses that they don't have, but their strengths perfectly fit what a playoff team needs to go on a playoff run. Like, 1, you have the ace. You have the best pitcher in any playoff series. That should get you a win or 2 in any series, hopefully, with Tarek Skubal. You're confident in that. They have one of the better high-leverage relievers in any playoff series in Will Vest. And then the combo of him and Canely, you might take that over any combo of anyone else. So if your starter can get you 7, boom, you got those 2 guys, you feel really good. And I think the depth of their lineup is more important than the superstar bat, which Riley Green probably is the superstar bat, but let's not put him on the caliber of Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, those guys, just for this exercise. The depth is more important. Right now, the Tigers have 5 guys that have played 80 games and have an 800 OPS or higher. Only team in baseball with that. I mean, that is an unreal amount of depth. That doesn't include a Wenzel Perez. That doesn't include a Jahmai Jones, who's going to match against a lefty in the playoffs. For sure, he'll be on that playoff roster. So, to me, those 3 things, being their main strengths, being better than any other team in the playoffs, gives them the edge over the Lions just because you probably are more confident that they win the World Series. And I've been going back and forth because I honestly still haven't made up my mind. Because the Lions have done it for longer. But we talk about windows a lot in the NFL, right? Mm-hmm. Like you have a 5-year Super Bowl window, whatever. We talk about the Lions window, they got 2 years, even though everyone's young and they could be longer. It feels like the Lions window has much more pressure on it right now. Whereas the Tigers, at least at this point, there's not a ton of pressure for them to win the World Series, right? Maybe put on by you and I. But in general, like this is year 1 of them being a contending team. Essentially,
they're going to be baseball's number 1 seed. I would hope there's at least a little bit of pressure.
Is there more pressure on them or the Lions, though?
The Lions.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on the Lions.
It feels like the Lions are running out of time a little bit. But then again, like the Tarek Skubal contract seems to just be a looming issue that you can't really gloss over right now. I think there's pressure on both, but I still do think the Lions would have a little bit more pressure on them, if that makes sense.
I definitely agree. Just because of how many years they've been this contending team. Whereas Tigers are just kind of throwing their hat out there right now. And obviously the Tarek Skubal stuff aside, you feel pretty confident about this team going forward as well. Especially in this terrible division.
Well, Tarek Skubal aside, that's a pretty big aside.
You get what I mean?
Yes, I do. I know what you mean. 989-837-6125. Who do you think is Detroit's top team? Is it the Lions? Is it the Tigers? Let us know in the YouTube chat, or you guys can text in. Again, it's 989-837-6125 to send us a Mitt message. When we come back, how big of a step back did this offensive line take, plus what is the Tigers' biggest need at the deadline. It's all coming up on the Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Loons kicked off a 6-game set with the Lansing Lugnuts last night, right back here at Dow Diamond, picking up a 3-2 victory. It was Lansing who held the lead the entire game, up 2-0 in the 7th inning, but the hero on Sunday picked up right where he left off on Tuesday, Cam Decker, with a 3-run shot in the 7th.
Second baseman Yamauchi shading up the middle, hoping another ball's hit his way, where he turned 2 in that 5th. Nope, Decker puts it in the air to deep left. Has he done it again in the 7th? You bet! Back-to-back games with a Decker 7th inning smash and a go-ahead home run. 387, 104 off the bat. And just like that, the Loons ahead 3-2.
Game 2, Loons Lugnuts tonight. Pre-game coverage starting at 6:50 right here on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt's Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Mary Draves, former Dow executive and leader in the Midland community.
I think as we get a little bit older, we start to care less about what other people think. If That's really a great point, yeah. And so as I've gotten older, I think I've become way more comfortable in who I am, what I stand for. And, when you get to that point, all of a sudden, you become less apologetic about who you are. You also, you're like, hey, this is me, I'm cool with it. Yeah. And I think in my 20s versus maybe I'm in my 50s now, it's a very different person. And that's just really part of the continuum of growth.
Listen to the full interview with Mary on 100.9 The Mitt's YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
At Aird Insurance Group, they're more than just policies. They're your trusted partners in protecting what matters most.
Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, their team takes the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage for your unique situation.
With personalized service and unbeatable rates, Aird Insurance Group makes protecting your future easy.
Call Aird Insurance Group today and see why their clients trust them to keep them covered.
Aird Insurance Group.
The experience matters.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman Night at Dow Diamond on Saturday, July 12th. The first 1,000 fans through the gates will receive an exclusive Super Lou E bobblehead courtesy of My Michigan Health. Create a lasting memory after the game as you take in Fireworks Loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Don't miss this super night of fun. Get your tickets at loons.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Am I crazy, or did you not just feel this whole place shake?
I think they're moving some stuff around.
I swear this whole studio just shook for a couple seconds. I thought we were having an earthquake in Midland, Michigan.
No.
I was like, what is going on? That was scary. And then I thought something
I
at
think
Dow
they're moving
happened.
some stuff behind us.
Oh, that makes a whole lot more sense than an earthquake. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear it again. Just the floor moving around a little bit,
What did they drop? It was like the whole studio shook. Dropping dumbbells out there. All right. What do you think this team's biggest need is right now? This Detroit Tigers team, because for month, we said it was Flaherty getting him out of the rotation, whether that's into the bullpen via adding another arm via a trade or adding another arm via trade to help out the bullpen. Either of which I would have accepted as a total correct answer. And maybe those are still the correct answers. The problem is yesterday I'm looking at the TV, I'm watching, I'm like, both of those things do not seem like problems at this point throughout the course of this game. So now I need to evaluate even more. I know I've thrown out Alex Bregman. It's like Zach McKinstry has all-star type numbers too. I mean, if you have the chance to add a Bregman, you do it. But at the same time, Red Sox probably aren't going to be sellers with their above 500 record here. So I look around at the offense, and I don't even think there's a position that you want to add. I've seen a couple big-time DHs thrown around, but I don't think A.J. Hinch loves the idea of having an everyday DH. I think he loves the idea of mixing
takes away
it
the
in.
versatility, yeah.
Takes away the versatility, takes away the ability to shift your lineup around on a day-to-day basis and give some guys, not just off days, but just based on who's pitching out there for the opposing team, mixing it up a little bit and keeping the other team on their toes. I think AJ Hinch would actually hate the idea of having an everyday DH, even if their numbers do look good on paper. I think it's still a starter and a bullpen arm, but the Tigers have been so successful and have such a big lead in their division that I almost worry Scott Harris is like, we're good and don't need to make any additions,
Right. But how upset would you be if that actually happened? Because you talk about this Tigers team, right. I mean, let's say the only move they make is just adding a reliever, a solid reliever. That's it. Because I genuinely think there's a real possibility that happens. And I don't know how upset I could be. Where is the spot for another bat in this team? You obviously can never. Saying. You can always use more guys. It's better than nothing. But in a team that really values the farm system, that is so deep that you probably are willing to move some guys because of how many good prospects you have, I just don't know how urgent they are to add to this team that really doesn't need a ton to be added.
I agree with you. But I would be pretty upset if they only add one middle-tier reliever to their bullpen, and meanwhile a different team in the American League adds a stud to the bullpen. You know what that's where I start to get a little bit upset, where you let teams close the gap. But those teams have bigger needs. Okay, then if you're the Tigers, you should be trying to damage the other guys and widen the gap rather than letting the other team shorten it.
You talking when the Niners traded for Chase Young and the Lions didn't?
Yeah,
that type of situation.
Exactly that. It's you got to improve your team, not only to just flat out improve your team, but prevent other teams that you're going to be competing with in the postseason, prevent them from improving their roster as well. That's equally as much a factor in this, especially when you are the team that's above everyone else. I think it's pretty easy to let yourself off the hook and be like, well, we didn't want to give up what they were asking. Some other teams are a little bit more desperate. But the other way to view that would be, let's hurt these teams even more and widen the gap. And once we get to the postseason, we feel even better about playing all these teams in the postseason because we are so confident that we're that much better than them. Don't let them gain confidence in themselves that they are inching closer to you,
Well, an important thing I think worth noting is that the Tigers are maybe at their healthiest point of the year right now. Maybe. I guess you still have Cobb, Carey, Job out for the year. But they've been banged up all year. That probably doesn't happen come October.
You'd hope so.
They do kind of have to plan for a little bit of injury unluckiness happening, because it sure happened last year heading into the playoffs from a pitching perspective.
Yes. Yeah, it did. Pitching by chaos.
As far as maybe adding a depth piece for a risk of injury, I mean, a bullpen guy's getting added. I think that's a lock. It just depends on how good of a bullpen guy. Is it the best one available? You probably add another starter, though, in a dream scenario, right? I don't think there's a situation where a bat gets added to this team.
I don't either. I'm starting to lose any sort of hope that it's not even hope that I hope that happens. You know what I mean?
Who's losing their spot?
Right. I don't want to take anybody out of the lineup. Are you replacing Javi Baez? No, he's an all-star. Are you replacing Zach McKinstry? No, probably not, because he comes through every single time it feels like you need him to.
You're not moving Jahmai Jones off the roster.
No, that
he's
dude
the lefty killer.
A weapon for AJ Hinch. There's not really an open spot.
When Carpenter comes back, Sweeney goes back down. So
is that naive to say though, or is this legitimate? There is no spot on this roster.
I think it's legitimate. Get added to. Everyone makes an impact. How many teams can say that all 13 guys are legitimate factors to success?
Probably only the Tigers.
Every other game basis, honestly. Everyone gets play. Other than, even Rodgers, you could say. But you obviously have to have a backup catcher. So it's
I think that's only the Tigers that really get to say that. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. And it's an AJ Hinch thing to a masterclass. But it's also credit to Scott Harris for getting him 13 quality players that all contribute on a nightly basis.
I hate that I have to be... I really have to admit how wrong I was about Scott Harris. The more and more we get into his tenure, the more and more you start to feel the impact that this guy has, whether it's going out and finding all these random bullpen arms off of waivers and turning them into studs out of the bullpen, at least for a little bit. Whether it's developing guys after they get up to the majors, whether it's drafting the likes of Clark and McGonigal and Briseño in the international scene. It feels like he's finally making a pretty big impact on this Tigers team, which I couldn't say for the longest time, and now it feels like I was just wrong. Like sometimes you got to admit when you're wrong, And I think I might have been wrong about Scott Harris in a handful of different ways. Do you think AJ Hinch is the overwhelming favorite to win Rookie of the Year? Or I mean Manager of the Year? I don't know why I said Rookie of the Year.
I would assume he is.
Did you
maybe Craig Counsell in Chicago?
Oh, no, my brother. He is minus 3,000. He's got this thing locked up.
Oh, wow.
AJ Hinch minus 3,000 to win American League Manager of the Year. I didn't know American League Reliever of the Year
I forgot
was
that
a
it
thing.
was split up. Yeah.
But no one in contention to win that. Vest's not in the top 10. Just outside looking in. Comeback Player of the Year in the American League. Javier Baez is plus 550. Jacob deGrom is minus 330. Guess you can live with
fair.
that.
DeGrom's
right?
having a really good year.
Yeah. American League Rookie of the Year, no contention for that. AL Cy Young. You want to take a guess at Tarek Skubal's odds compared to Garrett Crochet, who is, well, those are the top two. I'll leave it at that.
I will say, Max Fried falling off, huh?
Plus 2,200 for Max
Bunch
Fried.
of lefties. Shout out to the lefties at the top of the list. Skubal's got to be minus 1,500.
He's only minus 330.
Yeah, I mean, it's really early.
Garrett Crochet plus 700. And out in the NL for MVP, Shohei Ohtani's minus 1,450.
See, why is Skubal not as much of a lock to win Cy Young like Ohtani is to win MVP?
Aaron Judge minus 1,500. Tarek Skubal and Riley Green both with the third and fourth shortest odds to win MVP in the American League. Tarek Skubal plus 9,000, Riley Green plus 12,000.
Probably not good value.
I would say that is good value.
Well, I guess, but
what if Aaron Judge gets
Judge
hurt?
gets hurt, Cal Raleigh wins.
Unless Cal Raleigh falls off. Do you really think he's going to hit
36 home runs?
You think he's going to hit another 36 home runs? I don't.
I mean, there's no way he doesn't finish top 2 in home runs in the majors. It's him and Judge.
You're probably right. What if they both get hurt?
Or Ohtani, I guess.
Then all of a sudden MVP is wide open.
Right. What if everybody gets hurt? Right? What if the whole Tigers team gets hurt? Then who do they trade for?
That would be very unfortunate if the entire Tigers team got hurt. 989-837-6125. When we come back, we'll hit the news. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Mary Draves, former Dow executive and leader in the Midland community.
I think as we get a little bit older, we start to care less about what other people think. That's really a great point, yeah. And so as I've gotten older, I think I've become way more comfortable in who I am and what I stand for. And, when you get to that point, all of a sudden, you become less apologetic about who you are. You also, you're like, hey, this is me, I'm cool with it. Yeah. And I think in my 20s versus maybe I'm in my 50s now, it's a very different person. And that's just really part of the continuum of growth.
Listen to the full interview with Mary on 100.9 The Mitt's YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford. The new rebranded Matt Smith Modern Realty.
Well, Matt Smith Outdoors was really reflective of how I started my real estate journey, taking my outdoor experience, moving that into the real estate space to help people buy and sell land. So many people in this region ended up calling me and wanting me to work with them to help them buy and sell homes. This new brand was more reflective of what I'm delivering to people in this region every day.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit MidlandFoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at MidlandFoundation.org.
Something is amiss at Dow Diamond. The award-winning True Crime Night returns for the Great Lakes Loons on Thursday, July 10th. And this time, our beloved golden bobblehead is missing. It's an evening filled with suspense and intrigue. Join the investigation to uncover the mystery and help solve the case of who framed Lou E. Loon. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think replay should be taken out of basketball entirely. I think 2 super conferences would fix college football. I think the best football, basketball, and baseball players of all time are currently playing. I think the day the Lions win the Super Bowl is going to be the greatest day of my life. I think Monty Williams sabotaged the Pistons on purpose, and you can't convince me otherwise. I think Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches of all time, but most definitely cheated, got caught, and ran away. And I think you should tune into the Ben Bosscher Show, fueled by Forward Energy, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt if you agree with anything I just said.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Welcome back in. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. We got a text coming in that said, what about Sandy Alcantara? I would trade for Sandy Alcantara. I know that's a high risk with a guy with a 7 ERA who's got a couple of years left on the contract, but I'd let Chris Federer go try to fix him up. I would be all in on that. I don't think it costs that much.
We've talked about this.
It's a buy low. It's a buy low situation.
But there's if you're going to get a starter, go get a better guy.
How many guys out there have won a Cy Young before, though, that are available?
Oh, right. Well, Dallas Keuchel just got signed by the Royals as we speak, so there's a guy for you.
All right, let's go ahead and hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, let's hop back into the news, Ben.
Okay, Kyle.
We found out last night. Yes, Ryan with the news. We found out last night that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be on the cover of NBA 2K this year. So just a crazy year for SGA. Will you be getting 2K?
Probably. I would have liked it better if Wemby was on the cover. I would have liked it better if Anthony Edwards was on the cover. Those probably would have been the two. Not that Shai's unworthy of it, but if you're trying to sell the game, and I guess Shai does have a really, I think kids really like Shai for some reason. You're going to have a whole generation.
You call me a kid?
No. We're about to have a whole generation of eighth graders, middle school basketball players, just entire purpose of getting to the foul line. That's why I'm here, coach. Get to the line. Highest.
I'd be doing that in pickup.
Highest percentage look there is in basketball is the free throw. Yeah. You're going to have kids foul baiting since the time they're 5 years old because they're watching Shai.
I think it's good because you see some of these guys get to the NBA and they can't shoot free throws. That makes me so frustrated.
That's true.
You got to do free throws, man.
The Andre Drummond route.
But also with the 2K cover on the WNBA edition, it's Angel Reese making the cover.
Yup.
And then on the
kind of on fire,
edition,
Angel Reese is right now. All these double doubles, 15 points every night. It feels like
the me bounce.
Is that a thing? The me bounce?
Yeah, she trademarked that.
Oh, really? I guess I missed this.
She's embracing it. Who do you think is the legend though? On the legend status. You know, you've had Kobe, you've had Dirk.
It's 26. I'm trying to think of who like the best 26.
I don't think you're going to guess it. The best 26s ever?
Like who wore the number 26? Because I know they do that sometimes.
Kyle Korver?
Yeah, no, like that's what I'm thinking. No.
There's no one that's worn 26 other than Jahmyr Gibbs.
Kareem was last year?
I think so.
Is the legend Bill Russell?
He's a modern legend. No.
Carmelo
Anthony.
Oh, that's not a legend?
Kind of a random one.
He's no legend?
Not a legend. Wow, tell that to John's face.
John! Carmelo's not a legend!
Okay, that's
made
good.
it out of the first round like once.
I like Melo, so whatever. All right, let's talk about some golf news. Some golf Midland news.
The Loons Cup?
No, but kind of sure. We had the 109th Michigan Women's Amateur Championship in East Lansing wrapped up yesterday, and Kimberly Dinn of Midland won with a 270 shot yesterday.
Nice. Does that mean she gets invited to like Espen events?
I don't know.
Okay.
But the amateur champ. So we haven't given an update on our golf games in a minute. We're gonna have to.
Do you want to right now?
No, we did. We did talk about it yesterday. That's right. Beating Brad and Sarah.
We're gonna
have to go play soon.
Fantastic.
For Loons Cup.
Let's go on Saturday.
I would go Saturday.
Before the Loons game. Before Super Lou is in town.
Yes. Okay. NFL news. Big news here coming out of Dallas.
Oh, yes.
Dak Prescott
best shape
says
of his
he's
life.
a full go for training camp. Not quite best shape of his life, but it's basically that.
I people are forgetting that Dak Prescott had a hamstring surgery this offseason. That's why his season ended early. I'm curious to see at this point in his career, other side of 30, what Dak Prescott looks like. Is it the 2023 version of Dak, or is it last year's version of Dak that was basically just Kirk Cousins? We'll see.
Well, he was hurt.
Well, when he was healthy, he was just Kirk Cousins. 23, that's when we were gunslinging Dak, throwing the ball 55 times a game.
Cousins, though?
A better version of Kirk Cousins. Not last year's. Last year's version of Kirk Cousins was amongst the worst. Not Kirk O'Chains. No, not Kirk O'Chains.
Okay, that's fair. Moving on. Mentioned this earlier, but the Mountain West about to have a big year of men's and women's basketball because Grand Canyon is headed to the Mountain West this season, making a quick change. 4 teams are leaving the Mountain West for the Pac-12 in 2026-27. But this year, you'll have these 6 teams in the Mountain West that all made the tournament last year. Grand Canyon, San Diego State, Boise State, Utah State, Colorado State, and New Mexico. Grand Canyon also made the tournament on the women's side, too. So, really good basketball program.
We should make a bet right now if any of those teams make it to the Sweet 16.
Oh, I would bet one of them does.
I would bet one of them. I think yes would be like minus 280, though.
280?
Yeah. You got to win 2 games. That's it.
Yeah. Mountain West is going to be probably a top 4 basketball conference this year.
Whoa.
What?
Big 10, SEC, Big East, Big 12. Big 12, come on. Houston,
Kansas, and Baylor kind of fell off.
Houston's carrying it out there. Texas Tech
Kansas
is always
does have
good.
Darren Peterson, though.
Texas Tech is always pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably be better. No, you're right. They'll be better.
Okay, and then the question is the ACC.
No.
Dude, you're taking the Mountain West over the ACC?
The ACC was garbage last year.
I know it was garbage last year, but they also had Duke, who was the best team.
Yeah, they have Duke
for 99% of the season.
Yeah, what'd Duke do?
They lost.
They win?
No, they lost to Houston.
That's interesting. And then the Big East, obviously, pretty solid as well, but also had a bad run in the tournament.
Very
with UConn
bad.
kind of having a down year. Okay. Tigers, Rays, game 3 tonight. Detroit going for 6 straight wins, back-to-back sweeps as well. Was supposed to be a 1:10 first pitch. It's gotten moved to 5:10. Looks like it's going to be a rainy day in Detroit. Reese Olson versus Zach Little.
Shout out
Your
Reese
lock of the
Olson,
day's
man.
been here the last couple of days. Are you sticking away from it today? Little preview.
Not enjoy doing our lock of the day at all.
Okay. But yeah, Reese Olson, pretty good in his first outing coming back from injury against Cleveland on July 4th. Hopefully he can go a little bit longer today. Only went 4 1/3 that first time against Cleveland last week. So looking for another good Reese Olson start. Last thing on the news. Reigning WNBA MVP Asia Wilson injured her wrist in last night's game versus the Liberty. Obviously, the WNBA season hitting its midway point right now at the All-Star break. And Caitlin Clark returning from injury, playing today at noon. She was an All-Star captain. Her and Nafisa Collier drafted their All-Star teams last night.
It's phenomenal. We get a goat back in action. Bah. Choi Otani's playing right now.
We need a GOAT sounder.
We do. There's so many of them. We got Otani, we got Mahomes, we got LeBron, and we got Caitlin Clark. We got 4 GOATs all active right now.
Yeah, and we got John Vicari, too.
What?
Yeah. I thought he was in here, and I was going to look at him.
He is. She's standing right there.
Oh, I thought he was over here.
We had one person in our chat say 10-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA, 3-time gold medalist with the U.S., 2025 Hall of Fame inductee, 2003 NCAA champ, 2003 Pistons draft snub, Carmelo equals legend. I would push back on that and say...
He's a legend, dude.
A legend to who? A legend to who?
The Olympic stuff for sure makes him a legend.
So he's I can get behind that. He had a legendary Olympic career.
Like, he's the best Olympic basketball player ever, him or Kevin Durant.
It's Kevin Durant and LeBron James.
No, Carmelo's a better Olympic basketball player than LeBron.
No, I don't think Carmelo's better at literally anything than LeBron James.
He is a better all-time Olympic basketball player than LeBron. And I'm the biggest LeBron guy there is. He's got most points. KD passed him. They're top 2.
Yeah, that's fine. Nope, that's actually not true anymore. LeBron has more points than Carmelo. So
Then Melo? Well, at least... I don't know.
No, there's nothing Carmelo does better than LeBron.
So he's just not a legend?
He had a legendary Olympic career. I would argue the Knicks fans don't really think too fondly of him. All they think about is first-round playoff losses and his demanding to go to New York that absolutely screwed over New York because they had to give up too much to get him because he forced his way there, and then they basically had to give up.
Yeah, you know the Jamal Murray pick was from the Carmelo Anthony trade?
Doesn't surprise me.
But that's how long it was. Like 8 years.
He tormented the Nuggets at the end and made it impossible for them to move him. And then when he demanded he only wanted to go to New York, it ruined New York. It set him up to fail for the next handful of seasons because they didn't have enough to compete once he got there because they traded everything away in order to obtain him. So I don't think the Knicks fans...
When he could have just went there in free agency.
Correct. A year later. I don't think the Knicks fans think too fondly of him. And he kind of ruined Denver there for a while, too. I don't know. I don't think he's a legend to OKC. I don't think he's a legend to LA or Portland. I don't think he had a legendary NBA career. That's fine. We can say he had a legendary Olympic career. Cool.
And won a championship in college as a freshman.
Yeah. Legend in Syracuse. I would agree with that. 989-837-6125. Should call this the Bitch Bosscher Show with Kyle Penguin Voice Sandal.
Whoa.
That was mean. That's a text we just got. Ringer. All right. When we come back, we're going to do our 2 traditions to close out every single show. Guessing Colin's Open and the Log of the Day. It's coming up next. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandell.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent located downtown Midland. Look, I just want to take this time to appreciate Will Vest. Will Vest has been such a rock this season for the Tigers out of the bullpen. When you talk about some of the big issues with this Tigers team, well, one, there's not a lot of big issues. There's not a lot of issues in general. But the bullpen comes up as a sign of concern. Look, as long as Will Vest is pitching in a playoff series, in any series, you're fine. The combination of Canely and him have been lights out this season, but man, Will Vest comes in last night, K's 3, shows that emotion after getting that third and final strikeout to win the game. And it takes me back to that June 15th game against the Reds where Will Vest gave up a few runs and then looked like he potentially got hurt on a wild pitch. Remember how screwed we thought the Tigers bullpen was when that happened? How terrified we all were? I know I was. Because without Will Vest, this is a way different team. Since that game, by the way, since returning, 7 innings pitched, 0 runs given up, 11 Ks. I know we talk about Zach McKinstry as the big all-star snub of the Tigers. I'd say it's Will Vest, one of the best closers in all the American League. And that's what separates this 2025 Tigers team from that 2012 Tigers team. An elite high-leverage closer to come in and win you games. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland.
Hey parents, got a young athlete at home? Sign them up for the Greater Midland Try Kids Try Youth Triathlon, Saturday, July 19th at Plymouth Park in Midland. Kids ages 6 to 15 will swim, bike, and run their way through the finish line in a fun, supportive environment. And don't miss the mini TKT for ages 3 to 5 happening Friday, July 18th. Register now at greatermidland.org/races. That's greatermidland.org/races.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman Night at Dow Diamond on Saturday, July 12th. The first 1,000 fans through the gates will receive an exclusive Super Lou E bobblehead courtesy of My Michigan Health. Create a lasting memory after the game as you take in Fireworks Loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Don't miss this super night of fun. Get your tickets at loons.com. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mid is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic? Yeah. We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
If you served, we want you to get the health care and benefits you earned. We want you to come to VA.
There's never been a better time to apply. Under a new law called the PACT Act, we've expanded VA care and benefits to millions of people who served and their survivors.
No matter where you served or how long you served, check out va.gov/PACT to learn more about what VA can do for you and your family. Come to VA.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, we've got two traditions to close out every show right here on 100.9 The Mitt. The first of those being the lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Riley Green, man. I've done so many good things for you, man. I never stop talking about how much we love
You can
Riley
tell it's
Green
lock
on
of the
this
day
show.
based on your posture right now. You can tell we're at that point of the show.
Look, I've done nothing but praise Riley Green this season. Does he strike out a lot? Yes. Are you willing to live with it because he's been so fantastic and decimates the baseball when he gets a hold of it? Yes. Did he get 2 total bases yesterday? No, which means once again we lose. We go 2 straight days trying to bet Riley Green 2 total bases. He doesn't come through either day, which means when we inevitably are not doing that today, guess what he's going to do his first at bat today?
Mash.
Probably going to hit a home run and cash that in immediately. So already looking forward to that, but that's not where I'm going with the lock of the day. Before I give you the lock of the day, Kyle, tell everyone why they should be fading the lock of the day every day. Every day.
Yeah, they probably should be fading the lock of the day every day. Currently, right now, still at an all-time low. Number 5.76 units down all time.
It's not as bad as
2 on the week. 8-16-1 record.
So miserable.
You haven't won a bet. Now, this isn't a losing streak, but you haven't hit one since June 27th. It's July 9th.
Thanks, Kyle.
But it's not a losing streak because you had 2 pushes in there.
Well, we had a little bit of a losing streak a few weeks back. And what'd we do?
Yes, 6 days.
We relied on our goats. Ohtani hit a bomb. Caitlin Clark came through for us or a bet. I think she hit her over. And Caitlin Clark returns in about 15 minutes after missing 5 games due to a groin injury. Caitlin, we need you. We desperately need you to come through for us here in this little pocket of Michigan we like to call Midland. Our lock of the day is ice cold. We are relying on Caitlin Clark to get us out of this thing. I'm going Caitlin Clark, 20 points in her return from injury today against the Valkyrie, who allow the most 3-point attempts for their opponents per game. They live by letting the other team shoot the long ball. Dangerous idea when you're going up against Caitlin Clark in this Indiana Fever team. It is plus 172. Her over-under is about 16.5. You might tell me I'm chasing, but that over 16.5 was like minus 140 or something like that. So I just went right to 20. She hits some threes early on, establishes a presence, starts screaming, doing a Scooble scream in the first quarter, and hopefully has 20 by the time the game concludes. I've got Caitlin Clark plus 172 as today's lock of the day. Kyle, are you tailing or fading?
I think I'm going to tail this one. It would be smart to fade because if I had just been doing that for a while, it would have worked out. I forgot to tail or fade yesterday, but when I faded Riley Green 2 bases Monday, it hit. I'm going to tail this one. I think it's a smart play. Coming back from injury, just did the all-star stuff last night. It's time for one of those Caitlin Clark games.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
I think I'm with you on this one.
All right. There you have it. Caitlin Clark, 20 points, plus 172. That is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
This is a segment I was so excited for when we first started, and now it's like, oh my God. It's scary.
L of the day.
It is scary. Okay.
Hey, all it takes is like a couple bets, man.
I know. This one gets us like over 1.5 units back into it. We just got to hit a couple more of those.
Yeah, this would put you about 4 units down.
And then we just got to get hot. You know how much satisfaction there'll be for me, though, the day we hit like 5 in a row?
Get back above 500.
Oh, my
back above
God.
0.
That week we'll feed families. You know how we do our Monday morning stock exchange? Right now would be the time to buy stock.
I'm locking
because we're down. We're down so much. It's not like we can continue losing.
That's kind of smart.
It's almost impressive that we've lost this many in a row, if you think about it.
Well, that you have, yes.
Yeah, me. Correct. Okay. Our other tradition to close out every show is predicting the one and only Colin Cowherd's Open, who takes over our airwaves at noon. He hasn't been on the past 2 days. I believe he's set to return today. I somehow managed to get a point yesterday, even though basically shooting blind darts.
It was kind of my fault.
A little bit, yeah. You
because I went the quarterback route, like gave you the idea of it, and I just picked the wrong guy.
Yeah, I don't think I would have picked that if you wouldn't have done that first.
Watched any of that show yet?
Nope. No, I've been busy watching Tigers.
I've been seeing some of the golf stuff on Twitter.
Sorry, I keep bumping into the mic. No, I haven't had the chance to watch it yet. This seems like potentially a weekend project for me. I say that, but then I'll probably end up playing NCAA for most of the weekend while I'm not here. Or golfing. I might be golfing. So I predicted it would be Kirk Cousins. Felt betrayed, and that's exactly what they opened with yesterday. Monday, they opened with firework talk for like 20 minutes. Today, a little bit more trickier, and I believe I am going first here with a 8-6 lead all time in terms of who's predicted Colin's Open the most. With him back in the mix, he's been out for quite some time. I think a week ago today was his last show, because I don't think he did one Thursday, certainly didn't do one on the 4th, and has been gone for 2 days.
I don't think he did one. Did he even do one Wednesday?
I don't know. Takes a lot of vacation time. He's earned it.
For sure.
I'm going to go Lakers. LeBron retirement. They landed Ayton. I know that was a while ago, but I don't think he's been on since they've done that. I've got LeBron Lakers drama as my prediction for Colin today. I don't think anything's happened in the last 24 hours or 48 hours for him to really latch onto. Unless he really loved quarterback, but I don't think he did.
You know, just so you know, a random one here. ESPN put out an article for Tigers trading for Paul Skeens. So that probably
Dan, whoever wrote that's excited. Probably an idiot.
So I'm just scrolling ESPN to see if I can somehow come up with something. Ooh, Josue DePaula and a Dodgers for Skeens trade. Anyways. Oh, this is so tough. Because, like, Holmgren just got extended. Could he do some, like, big picture OKC talk about how they're not going to be able to pay anyone and relate it to the second apron? Could he just talk about Caitlin Clark because she plays today? But that's, like, kind of bad timing for it.
Yeah, the WNBA audience isn't watching Colin tomorrow or in a couple minutes. They're turning on.
Could it
WNBA.
be Jokic stuff and about how the Nuggets, you know, with him not signing his extension? I don't know how that's a topic. Oh, man. I'm going to go with, okay, wait. Randomly, I'm going to go with Milwaukee Bucks Giannis stuff.
Oh, God.
Just random. I know it's old news. I don't know what else to do. That's my pick.
All right.
Don't feel great. Don't feel great about it, man. These are the days when you really have to get creative.
Yeah, we've got a couple more weeks of that, and then we start to get real football ramped up, real headlines on a day-to-day basis. The Trey Hendrickson saga is going to be an everyday update type of situation. Cannot wait for that, right? Milwaukee Bucks, that's a random one, man. That's
just talking
a random
about,
one.
like, because I was going to do Jokic, and I'm like, I feel like if he's going to do that, he just talk about the Bucks and how they are screwed or something.
I'm surprised you didn't go Clark.
Or they're dumb.
I was thinking about going Caitlin Clark. Just
What's he
going to
talk about with her?
She's back from her injury.
She's playing tonight.
The WNBA.
Okay,
today,
what else?
And the WNBA is now saved because she's back. I don't know. It's kind of low-hanging fruit, though.
Right. He's also done that.
That has not stopped him before just because he's talked about something in the past. He's unafraid to repeat a topic the following day. There you go. That's our predictions for Colin Cowherd and his open of the show. Okay, we gave away some tickets today. That was a fantastic Wednesday, I thought, for the Ben Bosscher Show. We'll give away more tickets a week from today for the Tigers game. I don't know what game it is off the top of my head, but we'll get that figured out and maybe share the news tomorrow. But hey, we've got a fan going to, or a listener going to Saturday's game and Sunday's game this weekend. Always a good time. Always a good time down in Comerica Park. What's your favorite pre-game destination down in Detroit for a Tigers game?
As far as like where to go before?
Yeah, I think this is such a throwaway answer, but it's Tin Roof for me.
I was going to
It's
say
right
that,
across
but
the
I also
street.
don't know all the places like crazy well. You can go to the Hard Rock down there.
I like Tin Roof for Tigers games, and for Wings and Pistons games, I like Harry's.
Yeah. I don't really know the places too well.
We should go to a
being
game.
honest.
We should go to a game sometime.
We've been saying that.
Well, let's go to a game in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay.
Okay.
All right. Appreciate everyone for tuning in today. We will be back tomorrow, and hopefully we're talking about a Tigers sweep because they've got a chance to do that and get a new season high in terms of consecutive wins later today against Tampa Bay. Could potentially have 2 sweeps in a row, 6 wins straight, which would be, like I said, the longest streak of the entire season. That's going to do it for us today. Appreciate everyone who tuned in, whether that's on YouTube or on the radio. That was the Ben Bosscher Show. Hope it was worth it. Thanks for listening, everyone. Talk to you tomorrow.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on